Chapter 1321. The methods of the outer layer area are no longer effective. The entire Area 6 is oval-shaped, much larger than Area 2. In the yellow sand desert, the deeper the area, the more vast the area it occupies. The demon's stronghold is located about 10,000 kilometers from the center of Area 6. Because from the center point, the realm of the monsters has been raised to the 8th rank of the God King. Moreover, the closer to the deep area, the higher the density of monsters. So the demon's stronghold was not set at the center point, but at a position less than the center point. Lin Moyu can naturally understand why this is done, so that he can avoid the 8th order monsters of the God King, and at the same time, he can go to hunt the 8th order monsters of the God King at any time. Even if he encounters danger, as long as he is not far from the stronghold, he can lure the monster back and kill it together. With the stone demon's brain, he shouldn't consider it so carefully. However, within the demon clan, it is not only the stone demon who will come here. There were other demons in the outer area before. The demon clan is a strong clan with many internal factions. Adding together all kinds of messy demons, I am afraid there are more than 10,000 kinds. In addition to the stone demon being good at earth and stone laws, there are other demons who will also master earth and stone laws, or earth laws. They don't have a lost sea like the human race, so it is normal to come here. Lin Moyu didn't find this strange. Anyway, he would kill them in the past. No matter what kind of demon, it will eventually become a dead demon. One death knight after another scattered silently in all directions, the warhorses under them burning with undead flames, stepping out shallow footprints in the sand. According to the experience in the outer area, because the death knights are not living beings themselves, they will not attract attacks from monsters in the desert, and can be said to be the best explorers. But this is only the experience of the outer layer is different from the middle layer. The yellow sand desert is quiet, and the overlapping sand dunes make up this boundless world. One of the death knights ran tens of thousands of kilometers, crossed sand dunes, and soon sent back information. The death knight saw a blazing fire of the soul, and through the undead vision, Lin Moyu saw this monster. This is a withered tree. Only half of the tree is left, and the vines and branches on its body are scattered on the yellow sand as if they were rotten. The death knight stood on the sand dune, at least 1,000 meters away from it, but in the line of sight, this half-tree was still tall. Only half of the tree body is still more than 100 meters high. A normal person would think that this tree is dead at a glance. But in the undead vision, it is still alive and well, and the fire of the soul is extremely violent. Then, one message after another came. The scattered death knights kept sending back information. They all encountered monsters. The middle area is not only larger than the outer area, but the number of monsters is also far greater than the outer area. Thousands of death knights rushed in different directions, and then encountered monsters. The monsters seen were all half-cut 100-meter tree monsters. The death knights did not touch the tree monsters, nor did they touch the withered vines scattered on the yellow sand, but chose to bypass them. Suddenly, the yellow sand land moved imperceptibly. The next moment, the withered vines suddenly violently struck the death knight. For a time, sand and rocks flew, and yellow sand was like rain. The vines were too fast, showing the speed that the 7th rank of the God King should have. The death knight launched the charge ability and charged forward at high speed. But there were too many vines, and the strength of the two sides was too different. With a bang, the death knight was directly hit by the vines, his bones shattered, his body was torn apart, and even the warhorse he was sitting on was killed. Not only one big tree was like this, all the death knights were attacked by the big trees, and without exception, they died on the spot. In the face of the 7th order attack of the God King, the death knight had no resistance at all. Almost in the blink of an eye, thousands of death knights were all killed. On the yellow sand, there were scattered skeletons after the death of the death knights. After the death of the death knight, the undead passive spell was activated and resurrected instantly. The skeleton was reorganized, and the death knight appeared intact again. The vines struck again like a whip, instantly shattering the death knight. After 2 consecutive times, Lin Moyu suppressed the undead spell and temporarily stopped the resurrection behavior of the death knight. Such resurrection is meaningless, he is killed as soon as he is resurrected, and he can't make any reaction. Lin Moyu accelerated his speed and approached the area where the death knight was attacked. Standing on a high sand dune, Lin Moyu looked in the direction of the death knight's death tens of thousands of meters away. The thousands of Death Knights were not far apart, and those tree monsters occupied an area with thousands of meters apart. It seems scattered, but there seems to be some kind of order. Has the rule changed? The monsters here no longer use life breath as a judgment standard. Then what standard do they use to attack? Before, when the Death Knight stood 1,000 meters away to observe, the tree monster did not launch an attack. But when the Death Knight wanted to bypass them, the tree monster launched an attack. The distance between the two did not change, always maintaining a distance of about 1,000 meters. It's not because of the breath of life, nor is it because of the distance, then what is it because of? Lin Moyu pondered for a few seconds, and seemed to have thought of the answer. He found that the big trees had a common point before launching an attack. That is, the yellow sand land will have a very slight vibration. The vibration is too slight, and the duration is only 2 or 3 seconds. If you don't pay attention, it will be completely ignored. Lin Moyu also ignored this detail before. Looking back now, it was this tiny vibration that alerted the tree monster to the approach of enemies. The key is, what is the source of these vibrations? With a thought, the undead necromancy was activated, and a Death Knight, already deceased, was resurrected silently. After resurrection, the level 440 Death Knight remained motionless, without making any sound. The tree monster, 1,000 meters away, did not attack it. I don't move, the enemy doesn't move. Lin Moy occupied the Death Knight's vision, controlling all its movements, including those of the warhorse beneath it. Its aura wasn't concealed, but the Death Knight only emitted death aura, not life aura. The death aura clearly wouldn't provoke the tree monster's attack. The Death Knight, without making any sound, also wouldn't be attacked by the tree monster. The tree monster seemed to be in a state of slumber, only awakening at the moment of attack. The key question is, what would awaken the tree monster and cause it to attack the Death Knight? Since the problem wasn't with the tree monster itself, it must be in the area surrounding the tree monster. Especially the slight vibration of the sand earlier, which made Lin Moy feel that this was the key to the problem. As long as the cause of the sand vibration could be found, the reason for the tree monster's attack could be found. It wasn't that he was afraid of the tree monster, but Lin Moy didn't want to cause too much commotion before eliminating the demons. The head of a Death Knight gradually lowered, the movement gentle and slow, trying not to cause any disturbance. Lin Moy tried to find the problem through the undead vision. In the undead vision, the world turned into shades of gray and white. The yellow sand also turned gray and white, the gray and white sand on the ground, in the air, constantly rolling with the wind. After searching carefully for a long time, there was no discovery. Chapter 1322, Crossing the Tree Monster Forest. The undead vision is very magical, basically ignoring illusions and seeing the essence directly. It can also accurately find the location of the enemy through the soul fire. But the undead vision also has its flaws, and the observation of details is much weaker. In the undead vision, only the soul fire of the tree monster burned fiercely. The soul of a rank 7 god king was extremely powerful. Especially plant-based lifeforms, their souls are even more powerful than ordinary lifeforms. Looking from a distance, clusters of soul fire kept jumping, spreading into the distance. Lin Moy helplessly gave up the undead vision. He continued to approach, coming to a place only 1,000 meters away from the Death Knight. Now he maintained a distance of 1,000 meters from the Death Knight, and 2,000 meters from the tree monster. He didn't feel that locked-on sensation in his heart. The position he was standing in was safe. Lin Moy focused his attention on the Death Knight's surroundings. Since the undead vision didn't work, he would use his own eyes to see, and his soul to sense. The three methods each have their advantages and disadvantages, and they all have their own uses. After the soul perception swept over, there was still no discovery. After carefully checking with his eyes again and again, he finally saw some clues. On the yellow sandy land, it seemed that there was only yellow sand, but in fact, there were some other things. These things were like pollen spores, looking almost exactly like yellow sand, difficult to distinguish. Only by observing very carefully could some clues be seen. The pollen spores were mixed with the yellow sand, scattered to various areas with the wind, and spread all the way to the tree monster's side. It should be these things. Lin Moy guessed that the pollen spores were substances secreted by the tree monster, scattered around for vigilance. Now that it was discovered, it was easy to verify. The warhorse under the Death Knight gently raised a bone hoof, first stepping on an area without pollen spores. After a few seconds, the tree monster didn't move, and didn't attack. Then the warhorse stepped again, this time stepping on an area with pollen spores. When this foot landed, the tree monster's soul fire jumped violently, and thick vines immediately lashed over, smashing the Death Knight to pieces. Lin Moi let out a long breath, finally finding the reason. The tree monster itself still wouldn't attack a Death Knight without life aura. But if the Death Knight stepped on pollen spores, the tree monster would instinctively counterattack. 1,000-meter range was the tree monster's defense circle. His gaze swept all the way, flying into the distance. There were tree monsters all the way, spreading endlessly. If he wanted to go to the demon's stronghold, he would inevitably have to clear a passage. Or he could take a detour, but that would waste an extra day or two. Unless there was no choice, Lin Moi would prioritize going straight ahead. Overly intense battles wouldn't work, it would alarm the demons, and if the demons scattered, it would be difficult for him to wipe them out in one fell swoop. This wasn't the outer area, even he couldn't unscrupulously hunt down demons. This also didn't fit the plan he had made. Lin Moi planned to leave all the demons here. After pondering for a few seconds, a starry river lich shimmering with starlight, like a starry dream, appeared beside him. Go, I one half. The starry river lich's figure disappeared, and then a large number of tree monsters began to attack frantically. The vines lashed wildly, hitting the yellow sand so that it blotted out the sky and covered the earth, and the ground was full of gullies. The starry river lich's dreamy starry sky spell created a powerful illusion, affecting the souls of the tree monsters. Making the tree monsters feel that enemies were invading, they waved their vines and continuously attacked the enemy. But in Lin Moi's eyes, there was no one in front of the tree monsters, and the vines all hit empty space. The dreamy starry sky shrouded an area of tens of thousands of kilometers, and the many tree monsters inside simultaneously attacked in one direction, instead revealing a passage. Lin Moi no longer hesitated, and immediately flew forward at full speed. The yellow sand everywhere was mixed with pollen spores, and Lin Moi inevitably had to step on them. Stepping on the pollen spores would cause the tree monster to attack, but this time Lin Moi didn't. The starry river lich's dreamy starry sky affected the tree monster's soul, changing its perception. Lin Moi passed safely through the tree monsters. At his speed, it wouldn't take much time to pass through a 10,000-mile area. But the area where the tree monsters were located was definitely not just these 10,000 kilometers. As he continued to move forward, tree monsters continued to appear. The tree monsters formed a sparse forest, spreading towards the depths of the area. Lin Moi continued to move forward, and the starry river lich's dreamy starry sky also moved with Lin Moi, shrouding different areas. Lin Moi was as if he had entered a no-man's land, advancing rapidly in the tree monster forest. Previously, the stone demon didn't tell Lin Moi how vast the tree monster forest was, perhaps even he himself had never been inside, and Lin Moi didn't ask much. According to Lin Moi's guess, the demons were most likely only active on the periphery of the tree monster forest, and wouldn't go deep inside. They would avoid this area. After all, there were too many tree monsters in the tree monster forest, and sometimes many tree monsters were connected together, and one move would affect the whole body. Plant-based creatures have strong lives and are not easy to deal with, and the cost-effectiveness is extremely low when they really fight. So the demons wouldn't organize a large group of people to come and clear the tree monsters. After walking for a full half an hour, Lin Moi relied on the illusion of the dreamy starry sky and finally passed through the tree monster forest. With the coverage of the tree monster forest, it saved him at least a day. The skeletons of those Death Knights disappeared at the same time, resurrected in the spell constellation, and then they flew out again, continuing to explore the road for Lin Moi. I one half a diaresis. According to the stone demon, in the middle area, the most common rank 7 God King monsters are two types. One is the desert giant scorpion, and the other is the yellow sand magic eye. In addition, there are several other monsters, but the number is not large. The desert giant scorpion can be seen as a smaller and weaker version of the leader-level monster in the outer area, with heavy attack and low defense. The yellow sand magic eye is a stone-like creature that grows in the desert, without a body, and only one eye on its whole body. The Death Knight continued to expand the map, reporting on the situation ahead. Soon, desert giant scorpions came into view. The Death Knight ran past them, and the desert giant scorpions ignored it. Creatures without life were like a grain of sand in the eyes of the desert giant scorpions, not worth attacking. This was the effect Lin Mo wanted. Using the information gathered by the Death Knight, he constantly changed his direction to avoid the desert giant scorpions. The general direction remained towards the demon stronghold. But the small directions could be constantly adjusted to avoid unnecessary trouble. The number of desert giant scorpions was astonishing, even more than the tree ants. Fortunately, they were distributed relatively sparsely, giving Lin Mo enough space. After passing through the tree ant forest, Lin Mo had a further understanding of the monsters in the middle area. Even if he was occasionally targeted by desert giant scorpions, he remained calm, directly ordering Starlight and Milky Way liches to create illusions. In the illusion, the desert giant scorpions would think they had killed the intruder, and then roar happily. In reality, Lin Mo had already gone far away, disappearing without a trace. This method worked repeatedly along the way, bringing him closer and closer to the demon stronghold. A hazy light suddenly shot out, exploding silently above Lin Mo's head. Within the light, countless grains of yellow sand fell like raindrops, the small grains of yellow sand now weighing more than 1,000 pounds, falling like countless iron blocks. Chapter 1323, Yellow Sand Demon Eye, Lin Mo mediates. With the blessing of the law of earth, the weight of the sand increased billions of times. Each grain of sand weighed 1,000,000 pounds, falling densely. For a god king, 1,000,000 pounds was nothing, even 10 million pounds could be endured. However, simultaneously enduring tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of impacts in an instant, each exceeding 1,000,000 pounds, was a bit frightening. Moreover, the sand was so small and weighed so much, achieving the effect of breaking a surface with a point, even a 7th-order god king without a magic weapon to protect them would be injured if hit by the sand. Several legion overlords appeared around Lin Mo. The 10-meter-tall legion overlords surrounded Lin Mo, blocking the attack of the sand rain. Layers of light exploded on their bodies, healing themselves. The sand rain was enough to cause them damage, but it couldn't match their self-healing speed. Lin Mo quickly locked onto the attacker, which was a rock. The rock lay horizontally in the desert, covered with yellow sand, and if you didn't look closely, you would think it was just an ordinary sand dune. Under the yellow sand were stone patterns, also yellow, but covered by the yellow sand, making them very inconspicuous. A long, narrow, earthy yellow eye appeared on the rock, staring intently at him. Yellow rocks, yellow eyes, all yellow, with only some minor color differences, making it difficult to detect. Especially when it closed its eyes, it was even more so. Even Lin Mo had mistaken it for an ordinary sand dune. At this moment, the sand dune was a full 9,630,000 meters away from him, launching an attack from such a distance, indicating that the yellow sand demon eye's attack range was very wide. Previously, the tree ant's alert area was 1,000 meters, the desert giant scorpion was slightly larger, about 2,000 meters. While the yellow sand demon eye exceeded 10,000 meters, making it the monster with the longest attack range and the most concealed, making it difficult to defend against. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and the Starlight and Milky Way liches appeared in response, casting dreamy starry sky to create an illusion. The illusion enveloped the yellow sand demon eye, and the yellow sand demon eye immediately lost its target. Lin Mo breathed a sigh of relief, following the plan he had made, trying not to engage in battle and not attract the demons' attention as much as possible before solving the demons. In the illusion created by the Starlight and Milky Way liches, the yellow sand demon eye kept blinking its huge eye, but couldn't find an attack target. Lin Mo took a deep breath and looked into the distance. In the yellow sand connecting the sky and the earth, the sand dunes were countless. It was difficult to distinguish with the naked eye which were real sand dunes and which were yellow sand demon eyes. Normally, one would need to get close to the yellow sand demon eye and have it initiate an attack before knowing whether it was a sand dune or a yellow sand demon eye. Lin Mo decisively connected to the undead vision, and giant soul fires jumped into view. The location of the yellow sand demon eye became very conspicuous. Previously, the undead vision had lost its effect, requiring reliance on the naked eye to distinguish. Now that the naked eye had lost its effect, it was time to rely on the undead vision. The two observation abilities complemented and assisted each other to maximize their effect. Oh, there are people. Under the effect of the undead vision, Lin Mo saw 3 smaller soul fires appearing next to one of the giant soul fires thousands of kilometers away. The giant soul fire represented the yellow sand demon eye, then the 3 smaller soul fires naturally represented the demon race. 3 demons were working together to deal with a yellow sand demon eye. The 3 demons were all 7th-order god kings, with considerable combat power. However, the yellow sand demon eye was very powerful, making their fight somewhat difficult. But as time went on, they should be able to kill the yellow sand demon eye. Since he had seen demons, he naturally couldn't let them go. Lin Mo quickly went into stealth. The yellow sand demon eye that had originally attacked him suddenly broke free from the illusion. It didn't go looking for Lin Mo again, but closed its eyes contentedly. In the previous illusion, it had already killed the intruder Lin Mo. Lin Mo silently went into stealth. He restrained all his aura and stopped thousands of kilometers away. 3 7th Order God King Stone Demons were launching a fierce attack on the yellow sand demon eye. The yellow sand demon eye mobilized the law of earth, forming a dense and heavy rain of sand. The sand rain fell densely, causing dense imprints to appear on the stone demons. The surface of the stone demons' bodies had a layer of hazy streamer. The stone demons shrouded themselves in the law domain, forming armor to resist the attack of the sand rain. However, Lin Mo could see that under the dense attack of the sand rain, their law domain would not last long. The 3 stone demons kept swinging their huge fists full of rocks, hitting the yellow sand demon eye one punch after another. ACCF. Each punch contained the powerful attack of a 7th Order God King, causing the yellow sand demon eye to vibrate non-stop. The sand on the yellow sand demon eye had long been shaken off, revealing its yellow body full of stone patterns. The body was like a small mountain lying horizontally, hundreds of meters long, far larger than the stone demons. The yellow sand demon eye's defense was equally amazing. It could manipulate the law of earth, and its own defense wouldn't be weak. Whether it was the yellow sand demon eye or the stone demons, their essence was stone, which looked a bit like fratricide. Lin Mo was initially strange, why the stone demons didn't attack at close range, but kept waving their fists from 100 meters away. Looking closely, he found that the feet of the 3 stone demons had turned into quicksand. Their huge bodies sank under the quicksand, making it difficult to leave. It wasn't that they didn't want to attack at close range, but they couldn't. Turning the earth into quicksand was also the ability of the yellow card demon eye. This could both trap the enemy and form protection for itself, preventing the enemy from getting close. Lin Mo watched for a while. The outcome of this great battle was unpredictable. He decided to mediate, using the most traditional way of mediating. The starlight and Milky Way liches flashed away, and seconds later, the illusion descended thousands of kilometers away, enveloping both sides who were fighting. The best way to mediate was naturally to make both sides who were fighting no longer have the power to fight. Killing them was the simplest and fastest method. Once enveloped by the illusion, both sides fought even more frantically. The stone demons thought they had escaped from the quicksand, rushed to the yellow sand demon eye's side, and launched the most violent attack. And the yellow sand demon eye felt that it had been approached, and for survival, it began to fight back frantically. Outside the illusion, 3 portions of 7th Order God King flesh and blood appeared in Lin Mo's hand. At this time, he didn't have much 7th Order God King flesh and blood on hand, only a few portions. So Lin Mo didn't plan to do a losing business, at least he had to save his life. Lin Mo quickly locked onto the 3 stone demons, and a piece of 7th Order God King flesh and blood silently turned into powder. Immediately following, the bodies of the 3 frantically attacking stone demons exploded violently. The armor formed by laws shattered vulnerably, scattering the light of laws all over the ground. The 3 stone demons were severely injured in the first wave of explosions. The simultaneous explosion of their bodies attacking 3 enemies of the same realm, coupled with the stone demon's own powerful defense, didn't manage to kill them instantly, only severely wounding them. The 3 stone demons looked bewildered, not knowing where the attack came from. But in the next second, they became even more frenzied, attacking the yellow sand demon eye even more madly. The illusion of the Starlight Star River Lich made them believe that the yellow sand demon eye was attacking them. If they were smarter demons, they would have known that the yellow sand demon eye didn't have this kind of attack method. But the stone demons were simple-minded, and the illusion distorted their senses, causing them to have illusions. The sand rain continued to fall, taking advantage of the situation to add insult to injury, smashing even denser wounds on them. The sand, weighing millions of pounds, pierced through their sturdy bodies, creating holes. Then, the second portion of flesh and blood in Lin Mo's hand turned into powder. Chapter 1324. Besides the mantis stalking the cicada, there's also a hunter behind the oriole. Amidst the crisp and pleasant explosion sounds, the 3 stone demons fell to the ground simultaneously. Using 2 portions of rank 7 God King materials to kill 3 rank 7 God King stone demons, this deal was a profit. But the persuasion hadn't ended yet. The yellow sand demon eye in the illusion was still attacking frantically. Lin Mo activated the last portion of God King flesh and blood in his hand. This time, the target was only one, the yellow sand demon eye. In an explosion powerful enough to kill or even severely injure a rank 8 God King, the yellow sand demon eye let out a mournful cry and slowly closed. Its body instantly turned into sand, becoming a true sand dune, which then collapsed with a bang. Lin Mo was quick-witted and immediately pulled out the 3 stone demon corpses, saving them from being buried by the sand. The 3 corpses were still useful, not just as explosive materials. After entering the middle layer area, he had been advancing along the diameter, and his speed was very fast. This place was not far from the demon stronghold. Lin Mo flicked a wisp of undead flame, used undead rebirth, and resurrected a stone demon. The stone demon knelt before Lin Mo, extremely respectful. Lin Mo slowly spoke, "How far is this from your stronghold?" The stone demon was slightly stunned, "We don't have a stronghold." Lin Mo smacked his head, he had asked the wrong question again. After becoming a reborn, the stone demon's mind wouldn't turn, and it already regarded itself and Lin Mo as being in the same group. They, you, in Lin Mo's words, the stone demon understood as referring to himself and Lin Mo. Of course, they didn't have any stronghold. Lin Mo immediately changed his wording, "How far is this from the demon's stronghold?" This time, the stone demon understood, and said in a muffled voice, "Not far, another half day of rolling and we'll be there." Besides flying, the stone demon rolled, never walked. The stone demon's rolling speed wasn't slow, Lin Mo calculated, there was still some distance with another half day. "Did you come out from the demon stronghold? How long have you been out? What did you come out to do?" Lin Mo continued to ask. The stone demon didn't hesitate. "I came out from the demon stronghold, it's only been 10 days since I came out, we came specifically to hunt yellow sand demon eyes." Lin Mo found it strange, why specifically hunt yellow sand demon eyes, isn't it easier to hunt desert giant scorpions and tree monsters? In his understanding, whether it was tree monsters or desert giant scorpions, they were easier to deal with than yellow sand demon eyes. If he were to rank them, the easiest to deal with should be desert giant scorpions, followed by tree monsters, and lastly yellow sand demon eyes. Although desert giant scorpions could move, their defense was the weakest. Tree monsters were plant-based, with too much vitality, and their vines were fierce. The yellow sand demon eye had the blessing of the law of earth, a large attack range, and its defense was high to the heavens, it was the ceiling of rank 7 god kings. Moreover, it could control quicksand, create sand rain, and carry out group attacks, the difficulty was very high. Unless one had powerful long-range attack ability, otherwise the yellow sand demon eye was a difficult guy to deal with. Why did these 3 stone demons choose the difficult and abandon the easy, and come specifically to deal with the yellow sand demon eye? The stone demon replied in a muffled voice, "Desert giant scorpions will burrow into the desert to escape, tree monsters have too many vines, it's very troublesome, only yellow sand demon eyes are the easiest to deal with." Hearing his answer, Lin Mo suddenly understood, and at the same time was a little dumbfounded. This situation was very much in line with the stone demon's character. When encountering a problem, they didn't think about how to solve the problem, but chose the simplest one. Lin Mo believed that in the eyes of the sand race or earth monsters, they would definitely choose the other 2, and not choose the yellow sand demon eye. Lin Mo asked, "From here to the demon's stronghold, what monsters are there along the way?" The stone demon shook his head, "From here on, it's the yellow sand demon eye's territory, the demon's stronghold specifically chose to be near the yellow sand demon eye, so it's more convenient to hunt." Lin Mo felt that he had overestimated the stone demon's wisdom, they weren't like he thought, choosing to build their stronghold outside the central area specifically to avoid rank 8 god king monsters. The stone demons simply wanted to hunt yellow sand demon eyes, it wasn't as complicated as he thought. But having a simple mind also had advantages, it could be utilized. Lin Mo said in a low voice, "You go back to the demon stronghold now, find your leader, tell him, a human army has attacked. And the human army has already killed all the stone demons on the outer layer, let the leader be on guard." The reborn stone demon didn't raise any questions, but directly carried out the order. Before he left, Lin Mo took out a portion of rank 6 god king stone demon flesh and blood. The flesh and blood turned into powder and exploded on the reborn stone demon's body. The reborn stone demon's body was immediately blasted with huge wounds, and was severely injured. The corpse explosion triggered by rank 6 God King flesh and blood could injure a stone demon with strong vitality, but it wasn't enough to kill him. Lin Mo didn't intend to kill him either, he still needed him to go back and pass on false information. Roll on. With an order, the severely injured reborn stone demon curled up into a large ball and rolled towards the demon stronghold. The message he brought back was partly true and partly false. Of course there was no human army, but the demons in the outer area were indeed killed. Lin Mo hoped that the demon leader in the stronghold, after receiving the message, would summon all the demons outside back. That way he could wipe them all out in one fell swoop. Of course, in his eyes, this plan was full of loopholes. It was simply a method that was too tattered to be more tattered. No race with an online IQ would be fooled. But this was the stone demon race, their IQ was all offline. So Lin Mo wasn't worried about his clumsy method. He believed that the demons in the middle layer area must have a way to contact the demons in the outer layer area. As long as they couldn't contact the demons in the outer layer area, they would think the message was true. Plus, he had severely injured the stone demon who brought the message, which added a bit of credibility. Next, it's time to watch the show. Lin Mo slowly advanced along the direction the reborn was rolling. He didn't walk in a hurry, he needed to give the demons time. Even summoning the demons outside the stronghold would take time. Outside the Yellow Earth Desert, all the arrangements had been completed. The nightmare god stood in the starry sky with his eyes closed, waiting quietly. He was very patient, he wouldn't be anxious even if he waited for a few years. The demon god kings who formed the elite squad were also very patient, they were waiting for Lin Mo to come out of the Yellow Earth Desert. They just didn't know that Zhu Qiwu was even more patient than them. Zhu Qiwu hid in the darkest starry sky with a sneer in his eyes, slowly moving. From time to time, he released chunks of pitch-black stones into the starry sky. These stones were extremely similar to the stones he gave Lin Mo Yu. His movements weren't fast, not attracting anyone's attention. These black stones connected in a strange way. Zhu Qiwu wasn't worried about Lin Mo Yu's safety at all. With the life-saving item given by that great figure, even if he personally took action, it would be difficult to kill Lin Mo Yu. What's called a mantis stalking a cicada, unaware of the oriole behind, and behind the oriole there's a hunter. I wonder if the little guy will be panic-stricken after he comes out, I'm really a little curious. An interesting expression appeared in the corner of Zhu Qiwu's eyes. Lin Mo Yu was too calm, not like a young man, but like an old monster who had lived for thousands of years. He really wanted to see what kind of reaction Lin Mo Yu would have when faced with a life or death crisis. It would be a good show to watch. Chapter 1325. Layout, Waiting, Eye of the Demon. Yellow Earth Desert, the middle area of AA the 6th Fireball's radiation heat. Outside the living area of the yellow sand demon eye monster, a rather large base stood there. The base was entirely made of stones. Apart from its considerable size, it had no aesthetic value. Among the demon race, except for a few demons who had an appreciation for beauty, most demons didn't care about this stuff. All they cared about was fighting, being strong, and eating other races. The base built by the stone demons was the same, a bit chaotic, like a pile of rocks. Stone demons rolled around in the base, and there were quite a few of them. The stone demons chose this place as a stronghold in order to hunt the yellow sand demon eyes. They wouldn't fight desert giant scorpions and treants unless necessary. This also explained why Lin Mo Yu encountered a large number of treants and desert giant scorpions after entering. Because the stone demons didn't kill them at all, their numbers naturally increased. About 100 kilometers outside the demon stronghold. On a high sand dune, a skull peeked out from under the sand. The skull wasn't big, and if you didn't look carefully, you wouldn't be able to find it. Lin Mo Yu, who was tens of thousands of miles away, activated undead vision to observe every move in the demon stronghold. The demon strongholds in the middle area weren't like those in the outer area. There were rank 9 God King level demons in the stronghold, and there were 3 of them. Lin Mo Yu had to deal with them carefully. The Starlight Star River Lich could create illusions to trap rank 9 God King level demons, but he didn't know how many he could trap. If he could only trap one, then the battle wouldn't be so easy. The Starlight Star River Lich traps 1, the Flame Lich deals with 1, and I deal with 1 myself. There are still many rank 8 God King stone demons left. Even if I use corpse explosion, I can't kill them instantly. Lin Mo Yu thought about tactics, wanting to design a more suitable strategy. Of course, all these premises were based on the Starlight Star River Lich only being able to trap one rank 9 God King level demon. If the Starlight Star River Lich could be more effective, then it would be easier to fight. Lin Moyu quickly customized several plans. If the Starlight Star River Lich could only trap one rank 9 God King, Lin Moyu formulated a set of plans. If the Star River Lich could trap 2, or even 3 rank 9 God Kings, he formulated another set of plans for this. Lin Moyu even thought about what he should do if there were small God Venerable level demons in the stronghold. The plan was well developed, and Lin Moyu didn't think there would be any omissions. Once he took action, it would definitely be an annihilation battle, not letting go of any stone demon. He had been waiting for 2 days. During these 2 days, stone demons would occasionally roll back from the outside. But no stone demon had gone out. This showed that his plan had worked. The group of stone demons believed the information he brought back and really thought that the human army was about to arrive. In order to wipe out these stone demons in one fell swoop, Lin Moyu was very patient. Through undead vision, Lin Moyu counted the number of demons in the stronghold, and even the strength of each was clear. The stronger they were, the more vigorous their soul fire would be. Rank 7, Rank 8, and Rank 9 God King, the 3 different levels of demons were clearly distinguished and easily identifiable. The number of Rank 7 God King demons in the stronghold was the largest, with a full 423. The number of Rank 8 God Kings dropped sharply, leaving only 52. Rank 9 God Kings were the fewest, with only 3. Most of the Rank 9 God Kings had entered the deep area. The 3 Rank 9 God Kings who stayed outside were either weak themselves, or had just been promoted in the last few decades. In short, the strength of these 3 Rank 9 God Kings wouldn't be too strong. This would make it much easier for Lin Moyu. The most crucial thing was that there were no small God Venerables in the stronghold, which truly put Lin Moyu at ease. After waiting another whole day, in the last half day, no stone demons had returned. It's almost time to take action. Lin Moyu was like a death god under the scorching sun, approaching silently. The Undead Legion had been ready to go for a long time. 10 Death Knight Legions, 5 Bone Dragon Legions, and a full 3 million Skeleton God Generals surrounded the demon stronghold from all directions. They maintained a range of tens of thousands of kilometers from the stronghold and didn't launch an attack. The first wave of attacks would be launched by the 2 Star River Liches. The hazy and dreamlike Starlight Star River Lich, and the fiery Flame Star River Lich, appeared on Lin Moyu's left and right. Just as Lin Moyu was about to take action, the demon stronghold suddenly lit up. The yellow sand in front of the stronghold was swept away by the strong wind, revealing the pitch-black ground. The ground was transformed by stone demons, and a large number of demonic runes appeared on the ground. The twisted and strange runes lit up one after another, blooming with blood-colored light. The blood-colored light intertwined with each other in the air, and in the blink of an eye, it formed a huge barrier, covering the entire stronghold. The barrier wasn't completely closed, but rather in the shape of a net. The dark and twisted light, like lightning, constantly scurried on the barrier, protruding from time to time, like venomous snakes, revealing sharp fangs. There were many kinds of demon barriers. The most common was a pure defensive barrier, which was extremely strong. Another was an integrated attack and defense barrier, which was slightly weaker in defense, but also had a certain amount of attack power. The barrier in front of him was an integrated attack and defense barrier. It not only had defensive capabilities, but also had a certain amount of attack power 0. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Have I been discovered? The stone demons in the stronghold suddenly began to move. In the undead vision, the originally silent soul fires began to jump violently. One stone demon after another went from stillness to action, quickly came to the edge of the stronghold, and relied on the barrier to complete the defense. At the same time, a huge black eye appeared on top of a rockery piled up with random stones in the center of the stronghold. Eye of the Demon, Lin Moyu whispered. He knew why he had been discovered. The Eye of the Demon was a kind of military magic weapon in the demon race. Its main function was to guard and monitor. The Eye of the Demon had a very large monitoring range. High-level eyes of the demon could even monitor movements within hundreds of light years. Although the Eye of the Demon in the stronghold was very small, it could at least monitor movements within tens of thousands of kilometers. His actions had been very secretive, but he still couldn't escape the monitoring of the Eye of the Demon. But this wasn't what made Lin Moyu feel a headache. What really made Lin Moyu feel tricky was the second ability of the Eye of the Demon. In addition to monitoring, the second ability of the Eye of the Demon was to break illusions. The power of illusion demons was added to the Eye of the Demon, which had a natural restraint effect on illusions. With it, the effect of the Starlight Star River Lich would be greatly reduced, or even lose its effect. The barrier wasn't weak either. Even the Flame Star River Lich couldn't break it easily. There were also 3 rank 9 God King level demons in the stronghold, whose combat power was also powerful. It seemed that this demon stronghold had become a big hedgehog, which was difficult to break. Lin Mo's eyes didn't show the slightest panic, he already had a plan in mind. He made some minor adjustments to the series of battle plans he had made previously. The Starlight Star River Liches, who were originally supposed to act first, did not move, and the Flame Star River Liches also stopped. Lin Mo's gaze was fixed on the Eye of the Demon, which seemed to notice Lin Mo and turned to look over. The Eye of the Demon discovered Lin Mo, and the 3 Ninth Order Demon Gods in the stronghold also noticed Lin Mo. They appeared at the very front of the stronghold, staring at Lin Mo. As expected, there are humans. How is he only at the True God Realm? How did a True God Realm reach this place? He might be a scout in the team, the main force is still behind. Even a scout can't be at the True God Realm. Who knows, humans are cunning, we must be careful. Fortunately, we opened the barrier, and we also have the Eye of the Demon, the actions of the humans cannot be hidden from us. The clansmen who returned with serious injuries should be well rewarded, otherwise we might be attacked by the humans. Chapter 1326. Even the most astute can miscalculate. Looking at the dark and glowing Eye of the Demon, Lin Mo's lips curled up slightly. His gaze flickered almost imperceptibly, shifting down slightly. His peripheral vision looked towards the bottom of the Eye of the Demon. Beside the rockery below the Eye of the Demon, a stone demon suddenly appeared, only at the 7th rank of the God King realm. It was covered in wounds and its aura was weak. The serious injuries caused by the previous corpse explosion could not possibly have recovered in just a few days. Suddenly, a faint light lit up on the reborn stone demon, its injuries quickly recovered, and its aura rapidly strengthened. Then it suddenly jumped up and rushed towards the Eye of the Demon. Before any of the stone demons could react, it had already arrived at the edge of the Eye of the Demon, and then its body exploded with a bang. Under Lin Mo's command, it self-destructed. The self-destruction of a 7th Order God King is something even an 8th Order God King would avoid, its power is no less than Lin Mo's corpse explosion. In the powerful explosion, the entire stronghold trembled, rubble flew, and the messy black stones in the stronghold were lifted into the air, then fell like raindrops. The stronghold was in chaos, and the stone demons inside were all extremely surprised, shocked, and puzzled. The rockery of the Eye of the Demon was destroyed in the explosion, and the Eye of the Demon itself was also blown to pieces. The 3 Ninth Order Stone Demon Gods looked at each other. They didn't understand what had happened. Why would that stone demon rush up and self-destruct for no reason? Suddenly someone understood something. Damn, that stone demon was controlled by the humans. Perhaps the only time he had a flash of inspiration in his life was at this moment. Foolish his entire life, smart for a moment, but it was already too late. The next second, an endless army of humans appeared before their eyes. As soon as the human army appeared, they had already rushed to the front of the stronghold, easily smashing the barrier and killing their way in. Counterattack. The 3 Ninth Order Stone Demon Gods roared at the same time and began to attack with all their might. The stone demons in the stronghold also began to attack the human army. The laws were surging wildly within the stronghold, the law domains were unfolded, and black boulders were created out of thin air, smashing onto the enemy like meteors. The earth cracked, and yellow sand rushed out from underground, turning into sand mist, covering the sky and the sun. Lin Mo watched this and said calmly, I still underestimated the abilities of the liches. It's not difficult to trap a 9th Order God King, and even the other demons in the stronghold can be included in the illusion. In his sight, the stone demons were frantically launching attacks towards various locations in the stronghold. There was no one at their attack points, they were all empty. The human army they were seeing was all an illusion created by the Starlight Star River liches. In the sky above the stronghold, an extremely dreamlike Lost Star River flickered with hazy light, covering the entire stronghold. The Starlight Lich stood in the Lost Star River, controlling the illusion, like a deity. As long as the Eye of the Demon was destroyed, the Starlight Star River Lich could exert its full power. The barrier had no effect on the illusion. Under the influence of the illusion, the stone demons were fighting fiercely with their imaginary enemies, and the stronghold had become dilapidated. Lin Mo looked at the still solid barrier and said calmly, "Next, I will deal with you." A flash of fire passed by his side, and the flame star river lich emerged in response, and another brilliant star river appeared in the air. The projection of the flame-lost star river descended with a bang, and then the star river reversed, and flames poured down on the barrier. The barrier was shrouded in flames and became distorted in the fire. However, this scene was not noticed by the demons in the stronghold at all. Affected by the illusion, in their perception, the barrier had long been broken. The human army was waving their swords, slashing at them, cutting them into serious injuries. As long as they relaxed slightly, they would be torn to pieces by random blades. The barrier was both offensive and defensive, counter-attacking when attacked. The Flame Star River Lich merged into the Lost Star River, avoiding the attack of the barrier. Just 5 minutes later, the net-like barrier broke apart and dissipated in the air. At this moment, the Skeleton King appeared in front of Lin Mo, launching a fierce attack on the 7th Order Stone Demon Gods. The Legion rulers arrived with their teams to attack. The Skeleton God Generals followed closely behind, 3 million Skeleton God Generals densely packed, surrounded in circles. The sword energy devoured the entire stronghold, densely falling on the stone demons, making a sound like hitting iron. The attack power of the Skeleton God Generals was very weak, barely even a scratch, but it was better than nothing. Their real role was to prevent the demons from escaping. Once a demon escaped, they could play a blocking role, at least delaying some time. However, under the illusion, it was almost impossible for these simple-minded stone demons to escape. Lin Mo was only doing this as a precaution. After the Flame Star River Lich solved the barrier, it began to turn to attack the demons in the stronghold. According to the plan that Lin Mo had set in advance, its first target was those 7th Order Stone Demon Gods. Lin Mo didn't let it attack the 9th Order Demon Gods, or even touch the 8th Order Demon Gods. That would be too wasteful. The stone demons killed by the Flame Star River Lich wouldn't even leave a trace of ash. Lin Mo still wanted to use the corpses of the demons as weapons. In his plan, only when the power of the illusion was insufficient and could only trap one 9th Order God King, would the Flame Star River Lich deal with the other 9th Order demons. Lin Mo took out a few portions of flesh and blood, which were the flesh and blood of the 7th Order Demon Gods. The soul locked onto several demons in the stronghold, the flesh and blood silently turned into powder, and then the demons in the stronghold exploded without warning. The corpses of those stone demons that were blown up continued to become Lin Mo's weapons, continuing to provide Lin Mo with corpse explosion. The 7th Order stone demons fell like cutting wheat, and Lin Mo locked onto the 8th Order demons again. For him, he was not afraid of group battles at all. As long as one was killed, he could sustain the war with war, becoming stronger and stronger. Explosions rang out several times, and an 8th Order Stone Demon God fell to the ground with a bang, its body blown to pieces, and black and yellow blood stained the yellow sand. But this was just the beginning. With the first 8th Order Stone Demon corpse, the rest was no problem. Using this as material, Lin Mo launched a massacre against the 8th Order Stone Demons. One by one, the 8th Order Stone Demons fell in the midst of violent explosions, losing their lives. The battlefield token around his waist became hot, it continuously collected Lin Mo's record. Whether it was killed by the Undead Legion, the Skeleton King, or the Liches, it was all counted on Lin Mo. In the sky, the projections of the two Lost Star Rivers reflected each other, extremely beautiful. The speed of the slaughter was extremely fast. In just over 10 minutes, more than half of the demons in the stronghold were killed or injured. At this moment, the already tattered eye of the demon suddenly glowed again. The eye of the demon slowly opened, shooting a beam of light like a sharp arrow towards the Starlight Law Galaxy. The Starlight Law Galaxy shook violently, and then collapsed. The Starlight Galaxy Lich revealed its figure, its aura weakened. Lin Moyer was slightly surprised. He didn't expect the eye of the demon to be not completely damaged. If he had known, he should have added another strike just now. Even the most astute have miscalculations. With a thought, he retrieved the Galaxy Lich. The Starlight Galaxy Lich was injured, and its power consumption was too great, it needed some time to recover. Trapping all the demons in the stronghold, especially the 3 demon gods of the 9th Order, was quite a pressure for it. The illusion disappeared, and the 3 stone demons of the 9th Order of the God King saw the real situation. Chapter 1327. Want to escape? No way. The stronghold was destroyed, and the demons were almost completely slaughtered. Now, besides themselves, only a few are left alive, not even a tenth. Even those who are alive are seriously injured, and it seems they won't live long. And all of this was done by the human race in the true God realm in front of them. Bullshit true God realm human race, now saying he is in the true God realm, no one would believe it. Even if the stone demon's brain is stupid, it wouldn't think that Lin Moyer is just in the true God realm. Die. The three of them were furious and pounced towards Lin Moyer. Lin Moyer did not let the Flame Galaxy Lich take action. Regarding the eye of the demon suddenly breaking the illusion, Lin Moyer, in addition to a brief shock, already had a next step plan. No need for the Flame Galaxy Lich to intervene, with the preparations he had made before, it was enough to deal with them. The stone demon of the 9th Order of the God King, each with a body exceeding 20 meters, looks like they could slap Lin Moyer into meat paste with a casual slap. But around Lin Moyer, there were more than 20 pieces of stone demon wreckage of the 8th Order of the God King scattered. Boom! In the sound of the explosion, the 3 stone demons who rushed over suddenly stopped. A violent explosion exploded in front of them, and the huge force shook them back constantly. Then, the second and third pieces of flesh and blood continued to turn into powder. Explosions occurred on them simultaneously, not giving them any chance to react. Lin Moyer firmly locked onto the 3 of them, blasting them until their skin was torn and rocks flew. The 3 stone demons constantly screamed, and in a short moment, they suffered more than 6 or 7 powerful attacks, and were seriously injured. The stone demon of the 9th Order of the God King has a very strong defense. Lin Moyer saw in his eyes that the defense of these 3 stone demons was far better than that of the stone demon of the 8th Order of the God King. Using the flesh and blood of the stone demon of the 8th Order of the God King to explode 6 rounds in a row still failed to kill them. If it were replaced with the 7th Order of the God King exploding the 8th Order, it would be killed in at most 3 or 4 times. He remembered the information about the stone demon. The stone demon is one of the most defensive demons in the demon race. In the process of growth, the defense will have several huge transformations. Each transformation will increase the defense exponentially. It's just that the information didn't say when it would transform. It seems that the 9th Order of the God King is a transformation, completely different from the 8th Order of the God King. It seems that after encountering the stone demon of the 9th Order of the God King, be more careful a diaresis I 1/4. Thinking in his heart, the corpse burst never stopped, still bombing the opponent one after another. The injuries of the 3 stone demons of the 9th Order of the God King became more and more serious. They were like being surrounded by the stone demon of the 8th Order of the God King for self-detonation, and the power of each explosion could seriously injure them. After continuously enduring 10 corpse bursts, their aura declined to the extreme. The 3 huge bodies shrank on the ground, the stones on their bodies scattered all over the ground, and the black and yellow blood stained the yellow sand, filled with a nauseating bloody smell. But they were still not dead, and still had their last breath. The 3 of them shrank their bodies, shrinking their bodies into a ball shape. Boom! Another piece of flesh and blood turned into powder, and the 3 of them exploded again, and the huge force impacted the 3 of them. Their screams suddenly disappeared in the explosion, and the ball-shaped body lost all movement. Dead. Lin Moyer frowned slightly, he felt something was wrong. Switching to the undead vision, the 3 soul fires that were weakened to the extreme were still jumping firmly. Not dead yet. As soon as the thought arose, the soul fire suddenly became extremely blazing. An invisible force rushed out from the depths of the stone demon's soul. In an instant, the soul fire became extremely strong, returning to its peak. The 3 stone demons who were already seriously injured, exuded earthy yellow light, and the scattered rubble flew and reorganized their bodies. In the blink of an eye, the 3 stone demons who were on the verge of death, at this moment, recovered as before, returning to their peak. Is this the stone demon's spell? Lin Moyer found that he still knew too little about the stone demon, but instinctively felt that it should be the stone demon's spell, a kind of passive spell. But now is not the time to study, the thing to do now is to kill. As soon as the 3 stone demons recovered, they immediately curled up their bodies, turning themselves into bigger and stronger balls, rolling out. The ball state is both their state of rushing, and their most defensive state. The head and limbs are retracted, and the thickest stone on the back forms the outer shell of the ball. In this state, the defense can be further improved. At the moment they shrank, Lin Moyer's eyes sharpened and murderous intent arose. Want to escape? No way. Boom boom boom. 10 consecutive explosions landed on one of the stone demons at the same time. This time he did not disperse the power of the explosion, but concentrated on killing one. Just now they didn't want to escape, so Lin Moyer could attack all three together, let them die together, the whole family was neat and tidy. Now that the three guys want to escape, and they are escaping in different directions. Lin Moyer decisively changed his tactics, first concentrating on killing one. The corpse burst focused on one stone demon, and the power was several times greater than before. After 10 consecutive explosions, Lin Moyer didn't look at the result, and chased after another stone demon without looking back. In just this moment, less than a second, this stone demon has rolled out nearly 10,000 kilometers. It rushed into the encirclement formed by the undead, constantly crushing on the undead. Skeletons and death knights, bone dragons frantically snipe, but the power difference is too great, it is difficult to stop, only can slow it down slightly. The two stone demons, like two huge stars, rolled across the yellow sand towards the distance, crushing the skeletons. Light speed liches appeared around Lin Moyer, turning his body into light, increasing to the limit speed that the lowest desert can accommodate, quickly approaching. Lin Moyer's aura became stronger and stronger, quickly breaking through the true god, breaking through the first order of the God King, and rapidly improving. In a blink of an eye, his aura had reached the 9th order of the God King. Original spell, gathering power. Original spell, strengthening soldiers. The two major spells that he didn't want to use were activated at the same time, raising Lin Moyer's combat power to the limit. The realm reached the 9th order of the God King, and the combat power even surpassed the 9th order of the God King. He quickly caught up with the target, and the Skeleton King's bone sword appeared in his hand. Spell, Godslayer. The sword light lit up, and the stone demon was split by the sword light and exploded in the air. Under one sword, the stone demon was severely injured. After landing, he became even more crazy, frantically fleeing into the distance, not daring to stop. Lin Mo smiled softly and chased after him again. In terms of speed, he completely outmatched the stone demon. Above another stone demon, flames suddenly appeared, followed by a brilliant galaxy above his head. The flame galaxy lich descended upon him, and the projection of the law galaxy poured down, engulfing him in intense flames. He screamed frantically in the flames, his entire body burned red and melting rapidly. Lin Mo caught up with the stone demon, and the sharp bone sword struck his body, leaving deep sword marks. The bone sword swung out after images, hundreds or even thousands of swords in a second. At this moment, Lin Mo fought with unparalleled madness. The stone demon's body was cut into pieces, shattering once again. This time, Lin Mo did not give him another chance to revive, and under the fierce sword momentum, he completely chopped the stone demon into pieces before stopping. A surge of soul power came from the stone demon, and the origin spell absorbed the stone demon's soul, using some to increase the duration of the spell, and the rest to increase Lin Mo's soul. Chapter 1328. Saving people isn't urgent anyway. On the other side, the stone demon struggling in the flame galaxy had its solid stone body melted long ago, and most of its flesh and blood had been burned away. When the flame lich withdrew the flames, it was already on its last breath. The lich was also blessed by the origin spell, greatly increasing its combat power. The stone demon was a type with high defense and low attack, and it had no resistance against the flame lich. However, the flame lich did not kill it, leaving it a breath. Because Lin Mo needed its corpse, if it were killed by the flame lich, there was a 99% chance that not even ashes would remain. Such good material would be too wasteful. Moreover, when entering the deeper area, facing the rank 9 God King Stone Demon, this would be the best weapon. Lin Mo came over, swung the bone sword, and gave the stone demon the final blow. He collected the soul power of the stone demon and confirmed that it was dead. The skeletons rushed over, dragging the still-hot stone demon corpse back to the stronghold. At this time, Lin Mo had time to check on the stone demon that he had bombarded with 10 waves of explosions. His body had been blown into pieces, and he could not be more dead. 10 waves of continuous explosions were equivalent to 10 rank 8 God King stone demons surrounding him and self-destructing. Moreover, the power of the self-destruction was all concentrated on him alone, which was even more terrifying than a real self-destruction. Even if the defense had been transformed, he would still die. Lin Mo returned, and he did not take any further action. Purple light flashed on his body, and his soul relaxed after being elevated to the limit, then shattered at 627. The price of the origin spell had to be borne. At the moment of shattering, the talent activated, a purple light flashed, repaired the soul, and restored it to its peak state. The starlight lich reappeared, and after a short rest, it had recovered most of its strength. With the cooperation of the two great liches, plus the Skeleton King and the scraping army, they quickly cleaned up the mess. Half an hour later, the entire battle came to a complete end. Lin Mo stood in front of the completely destroyed stronghold, and the skeletons searched for crystal cores from various locations in the stronghold. During the battle, due to the influence of the illusion, the stone demons bombarded everywhere, and the stronghold was severely damaged. The earth cracked, and the yellow sand underground surged out again. The crystal cores were scattered in every corner, some buried under the rubble, and some had fallen into the ground through the cracks and could not be recovered. Lin Mo sighed softly. This was unavoidable, he would recover as many as he could. Lin Mo reviewed the entire battle, although the most intense part only lasted a few minutes. But Lin Mo had already discovered that he had some shortcomings. The main thing was his lack of understanding of the stone demon, not knowing that the stone demon's defense would transform at the rank 9 God King level. He also didn't know that the rank 9 God King stone demon could have the ability to revive. ACBE. Otherwise, he would definitely change his tactics. At the same time, the Eye of the Devil had a strong restraining effect on the illusion, causing the Starlight Lich's illusion to lose its effect. Since he knew it early on, he should have finished it off immediately. He should have determined whether the Eye of the Devil was really destroyed as soon as possible. As a result, due to his oversight, the illusion collapsed prematurely. Although it did not affect the final battle, it also cost him a lot of effort. Otherwise, even if the rank 9 God King Stone Demon had the ability to revive, he wouldn't be able to escape, and he could still be played to death. Lin Mo summarized the gains and losses of the battle, carefully sorted them out, and ensured that he would not make similar mistakes in the future. His aura was slowly increasing, pushing him towards the rank 8 True God. After using the origin spell to kill the enemy, the absorbed soul power was refined and became his own power, uncontrollably enhancing his realm. This enhancement could only be suppressed temporarily, and the suppression time could not be too long. It was meaningless. In fact, Lin Mo didn't want to be promoted to the rank 8 God King now, but the fact was that he had to use the origin spell. Especially in the deep area, facing the rank 9 God King battles, whether it was monsters or demons, he might need to use the origin spell frequently. In that case, his cultivation would inevitably break through the rank 8 True God, or even the rank 9 True God. But it was impossible not to use the origin spell, and the subsequent battles would be more intense. The growth of realm would become an uncontrollable thing. Lin Mo closed his eyes and pondered, after some thought, weighed the gains and losses, and made a decision. Several hours later, all the crystal cores that could be found in the stronghold were found. A total of 1731, and almost all of them were rank 7 God King crystal cores. Among the 1731 crystal cores, 1651 were rank 7 God King crystal cores, and 80 were rank 8 God King crystal cores. Among the 1651 rank 7 God King crystal cores, more than 1500 belonged to the Yellow Sand Demon Eye. Although they were all crystal cores, they were still different and could be distinguished. Lin Mo looked at these crystal cores, thought for a moment, and thought of a possibility. There were rank 9 God King stone demons among the demons. Even if the stone demon's attack power was not good, it would definitely be no problem to deal with rank 8 God King monsters. If they were to take action, they should be able to quickly collect a large number of crystal cores. But according to the current situation, this was not the case. Only 700 crystal cores were completely insufficient to summon the leader monster. Exceeding the leader monster by 1 rank will affect the number of keys and materials dropped. If it is replaced by ordinary monsters, exceeding the ordinary monster by 1 rank, will crystal cores not be dropped? Lin Mo felt that this was entirely possible, otherwise the current situation could not be explained. After thinking for a while, he flicked out a wisp of undead flame and resurrected a rank 9 God King Stone Demon. The rank 7 God King Stone Demon didn't know enough. The rank 9 was the leader of the middle area, and he would definitely know more. There were only 3 portions of flesh and blood in total, and now that one was missing, Lin Mo really felt a little heartache. The rank 9 God King Stone Demon was reborn in the flesh and reorganized his soul before his eyes. The 20-meter-tall body knelt devoutly in front of him. From his mouth, Lin Mo learned the definite answer, which was the same as he had guessed. In the Yellow Earth Desert, if you want to obtain crystal cores, you must be equal to or lower than the monster's realm. As long as you are higher than the monster's realm, the monster will not drop crystal cores after death. Therefore, the 3 rank 9 God King Stone Demons were purely waiting here, waiting to collect enough crystal cores. He knew a little more information, and from his mouth, Lin Mo obtained the specific number of crystal cores needed to summon the leader monster. A total of 1000 rank 8 God King crystal cores were needed. If rank 7 God King crystal cores were used instead, then the number would be multiplied by 10, a full 10,000. The ratio between the two was 1:10, and they could be mixed together. For example, 100 rank 8 God King crystal cores and 9000 rank 7 God King crystal cores. Anyway, as long as the total amount meets the requirements, even using God King rank 4 crystal cores is fine. For each rank lower, the quantity doubles tenfold. If God King rank 4 crystal cores are really used, I'm afraid killing all the monsters in the outer region wouldn't be enough. The method for summoning boss monsters is also very simple. Just pile enough crystal cores together and they will be automatically summoned, without needing to do anything else. Originally, they had already collected more than 3000 rank 7 crystal cores and more than 400 rank 8 crystal cores. They had almost completed 80% of the collection. However, after a great battle, most of the crystal cores were lost. Lin Mo Yu's heart stirred, and a large number of skeletons immediately began to drill into the ground to search under the yellow sand. Unfortunately, after a search, there were no results. These crystal cores sank into the yellow sand and disappeared without a trace. Lin Mo Yu even had the urge to go to the Sand Tribe and Earth Monster Tribe territories to snatch crystal cores, but after thinking about it, he gave up. It's a good opportunity to settle down and consolidate. Anyway, there's no rush to save people. Thousands of years have passed, so what's a year and a half more? Chapter 1329, Checking for Omissions, Strengthening the Foundation. Lin Mo Yu, alone, sees the territory once occupied by demons as his own. The Undead Legion rushed out mightily, heading towards the monsters to kill. Legion rulers led their own legions, along with skeleton god generals, forming a total of 15 teams. The Legion ruler of the Death Knight Legion, after using domination, had combat power comparable to a God King rank 5. The ruler of the Bone Dragon Legion was even more powerful, able to reach God King rank 6 on its own. 15 legions, each equipped with 200,000 skeleton god generals, began hunting rank 7 monsters. Although their attacks were not strong, belonging to scratching attacks, they could still cause some damage to the monsters. With their amazing numbers, as long as they spent some time, hunting rank 7 monsters was not a problem. With the Undying Undead passive spell in place, plus Lin Mo Yu giving the Legion rulers a large amount of undying flames, the Legion rulers could not only heal the undead but also revive their subordinates. Lin Mo Yu was not worried about them being damaged at all. Even if there was some damage, as long as it wasn't too great, it wouldn't be a problem. He, the master, could replenish them at any time. At the same time, Lin Mo Yu revived a large number of stone golems. God King rank 7 stone golems merged with the Undead Legion to serve as meat shields. This could effectively reduce the threat to the Undead Legion. As for the God King rank 8 stone golems, Lin Mo Yu also revived 20 of them. Their main task was to hunt God King rank 8 monsters. Lin Mo Yu had no requirements for efficiency. He knew he would be staying here for a while. As for how long he would stay, even he himself couldn't be sure. The Starlight Lich, shimmering with dreamy luster, stood quietly beside Lin Mo Yu, its eyes vigilantly watching the distance, its body flowing with light, very charming. On the other side, the Flame Lich, burning with raging flames, protected Lin Mo Yu like a left and right guardian, along with the Starlight Lich. Further away, the only God King rank 9 reborn stood in the yellow sand, gazing into the distance. The three surrounded Lin Mo Yu in the middle, acting as protectors for Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu sat cross-legged on the yellow sand, his whole body's laws fluctuating slightly, the undying law flowing around his body, spreading across the yellow sand, gradually expanding. The two forces of life and death in the undying law intertwined with each other, either merging, or separating, or colliding, or standing independently. As the two constantly changed, various mysterious principles were produced, which were slowly absorbed by Lin Mo Yu. He began to comprehend the law. Previously, he had improved too quickly, not through normal cultivation, but through the source spell, forcibly improving his soul realm. Then, the improvement of the soul realm strengthened his control over the law. Although it seemed like there was no big problem, Lin Moyu himself knew that with such an improvement, his understanding of the law was not deep enough. The foundation was not solid enough. It was like a child doing math problems, memorizing the multiplication table, and knowing that 9*9 equals 81. But he doesn't necessarily know why 9*9 equals 81. Lin Moyu is now in such a state. The forced improvement of his soul has also increased his control over the law. But he doesn't understand the fundamental problem. Perhaps there won't be any problems now, but something will definitely happen when he reaches the God Venerable realm. By then, it will be much more troublesome to turn back. So Lin Moyu has been looking for opportunities to resort out the law and solidify his foundation. It's just that there hasn't been a corresponding opportunity. This is a good opportunity, and Lin Moyu decided to comprehend it well. As for hunting monsters, let his subordinates do it. The yellow sand howled, and time passed day by day. Unknowingly, the original demon's stronghold was covered by the sky full of yellow sand. The underground sand kept surging, gradually swallowing everything in the stronghold. Only the area where Lin Moyu was located still maintained its original appearance. In the starry sky outside the yellow earth desert, God Venerable Nightmare slowly opened his eyes. A huge stone golem with a size of more than 100 meters slowly flew to his side, and its body continued to shrink as it approached, eventually becoming similar in size to God Venerable Nightmare. Such a change showed his respect for God Venerable Nightmare. Although both were God Venerables, there were also differences in status between the two in the demon race. Stone Golem God Venerable made a hoarse voice like rocks rubbing. I just got the news that our stronghold in the middle area was destroyed by Lin Moyu. 3 God King rank 9 stone golems in the stronghold are dead. God Venerable Nightmare nodded lightly. It seems that Lin Moyu's combat power has exceeded God King rank 9. Can we contact the stone golems in the deep area? Stone Golem God Venerable said in a low voice. We are trying to contact them, but it is very difficult. The isolation of the yellow earth desert is too powerful. Only when the clone dies, will some information be brought back. God Venerable Nightmare naturally understood. Try again. Now we can't get in, we can only wait for him to come out. Stone Golem God Venerable said. Some clones are clones of God Venerables in the clan. Now those God Venerables are calling to destroy Lin Moyu, and some are calling to start a war with the human race. 0. Seeking flowers. God Venerable Nightmare showed a disdainful sneer on his illusory figure. It's just a few dead clones. It's okay to start a war, let those God Venerables take the lead. Did they dare to go? Stone Golem God Venerable was silent and did not speak. Starting a war with the human race is no small matter. Even if the God Venerables go to the battlefield, they may fall. No one will lose their lives for a clone. God Venerable Nightmare waved his hand, signaling Stone Golem God Venerable not to disturb him anymore. Stone Golem God Venerable took his leave and continued to try to contact the stone golems in the deep area. Although the demons, clones are powerful, due to the relationship of the yellow earth desert, it is difficult to establish contact between the main body and the clone. Only after the clone dies will some information before death be brought back. 0.0. But that information is not complete, often just a fragment. The stone golems also combined the information of a large number of clones to come to the final result and know what Lin Moyu did. Among the large number of demons that Lin Moyu destroyed and killed, many were clones. In fact, there were several clones of stone golems in the God Venerable realm. Lin Moyu didn't know this, but even if he knew, what did it have to do with him? He would still kill them, and even kill them more excitedly. Time passed day by day, and the illusion outside the yellow earth desert remained. God Venerable Nightmare was very patient, like a hunter waiting for his prey. Even if he waited for several years, it didn't matter. Seeing him like this, the other demons could only wait quietly. In the blink of an eye, a year passed. During this period, 2 more stone golems in the God Venerable realm came, and their clones were killed by Lin Moyu. The number of stone golem God Venerables here has increased to 5. In addition to Flame God Venerable and God Venerable Nightmare. To kill Lin Moyu, the demon race mobilized a full 7 God-level experts. Zhu Qiwu hid in the shadows, finding the situation increasingly interesting. His eyes flashed with divine light as he speculated about what Lin Moyu had done inside. Layers upon layers of undying laws emanated, enveloping Lin Moyu. Compared to a year ago, the undying laws were now thicker and more profound. Lin Mo Yu was at the center of the undying laws, his eyes slightly closed, a gray and white crescent moon slowly rotating behind him. The heavy laws shrouded him, like a real star. After a moment, Lin Mo Yu slowly opened his eyes, and a gray and white breath escaped from his mouth. Chapter 1330. God King 8th Order Monster, Earth Giant. The gray and white breath was like a silk ribbon, flying thousands of kilometers without dissipating. Where the breath passed, the desert on one side instantly rotted, the yellow sand turning black and silently dissolving. On the other side, clusters of green plants appeared on the yellow sand, turning the desert into an oasis. The power of life and death was undoubtedly displayed in this breath. The vision behind him disappeared, and the strange star dissipated with it. The layers of laws also rolled back like waves, all returning to Lin Mo Yu's body. Lin Mo Yu didn't know how much time had passed, having lost the concept of time in the lowest desert. His realm was still a true God 7th Order, with no progress whatsoever. His soul had not strengthened, and his realm had not improved. He had simply consolidated his foundation, firmly grasping the laws he should have already mastered. Now, if he had a little more soul power, he could step into true God 8th Order, or even true God 9th Order, without any worries. With each increase in rank, his combat power would increase significantly. Lin Mo Yu had already added those demons in the deeper areas to his must-kill list. Unless they fled now, they were doomed. He restrained all aura of laws and looked not far away. Not far away, a pile of crystal cores reflected the light of the fireball in the sky, appearing very dazzling. His soul power swept over, quickly obtaining the accurate numbers. There were 3,565 God King 7th Order crystal cores and 52 God King 8th Order crystal cores. Including the previous crystal cores, there were now a total of 5,216 7th Order crystal cores and 132 8th Order crystal cores. If all were converted to 7th Order crystal cores, the total would be 6,536. He was still short 3,467 7th Order crystal cores from the 10,000 needed to summon the leader monster. Originally, there shouldn't have been so few 8th Order crystal cores. The ones responsible for hunting 8th Order monsters were the Stone Demon Reborns, all God King 8th Order Stone Demons. They were very efficient at first, but later, as people were constantly injured, their efficiency gradually decreased. After 100 days, the Reborns' time was up, and the Reborns collapsed at the same time, so no more 8th Order crystal cores were added. The Undead Army, on the other hand, was tireless and had been hunting God King 7th Order monsters. However, they also encountered similar problems. After 100 days, the Stone Demon Reborns, who served as meat shields, collapsed. Efficiency also inevitably declined. Half of the 3,000 plus 7th Order crystal cores were obtained by the Stone Demon Reborns before they collapsed. At that time, Lin Mo Yu was in a state of comprehending the laws and had no time to manage it. After learning this information, Lin Mo Yu deduced from the efficiency of hunting monsters that he should have spent more than 300 days comprehending the laws this time. The time for cultivation passed too quickly. He was just reconsolidating his foundation and not trying to improve his realm. If he wanted to improve his realm and comprehend new laws, he was afraid that many years would pass in the blink of an eye. Lin Mo Yu had experience with seclusion, so he could not choose to improve his realm here. Even if he wanted to seclude himself, he would return to the human world and enter the time chamber. There are still 350 8th Order crystal stones needed, which is 350 God King 8th Order monsters. It seems I have to do it myself. 350 8th Order crystal stones are 3,500 7th Order crystal stones. At the current efficiency of the Undead Army, it would take about 500 to 600 days. Lin Mo Yu didn't want to wait any longer, so he decided to do it himself. Relying on the two origin skills, he knew that he only needed to raise his realm to God King 8th Order to hunt monsters of the same level without difficulty. While hunting monsters to obtain crystal stones, he might be able to absorb enough soul power. He was only a tiny bit away from true God 8th Order. As long as he had a little more soul power, he could successfully advance to God King 8th Order. At that time, with increased combat power, improved soul, and stronger endurance, he would have a greater chance of breaking through the deeper areas. He recalled the Undead Army, and Lin Mo Yu walked towards the 8th fireball. He was currently in the area covered by the 6th fireball, bordering the 8th and 9th fireballs. Lin Moyu didn't care and just randomly chose one. No matter which one he chose, the destination was the same. Leaving the stronghold, he walked at a leisurely pace for half a day, finally feeling a different aura. The previous area was dominated by sand and stone laws, and the aura of earth laws was relatively weak. But now, earth laws began to stand out, and sand and stone laws became relatively weaker. Lin Moyu knew that he had entered the area of God King 8th Order monsters. Unlike before, there was only one type of God King 8th Order monster. The monster's name was Earth Giant, and its height was uniformly 15 meters. Usually, they were like statues, motionless. Once someone entered their territory, they would instantly revive and attack the intruders. The Earth Giant was covered in earth laws, which formed armor. Its defense was extremely terrifying, much stronger than the yellow sand demon Eye, even no less than a stone demon of the same realm. At the same time, their attack power was also extremely terrifying. Their bodies were made of yellow sand, and under the action of the earth laws, their bodies were compressed to the extreme, and their weight reached a terrifying level. Just like the sand rain used by the yellow sand demon Eye, each grain of sand weighed millions of pounds. It was such grains of sand, each weighing millions of pounds, that were compressed and combined to form the Earth Giant. One could imagine the weight of the Earth Giant. Each Earth Giant weighed as much as a star. With one punch, they could shatter stars. They stepped on the lowest desert, taking the earth laws as their ground, and could move freely in the desert, becoming an extremely terrifying monster. Lin Moyu thought about the information about the Earth Giant in his mind. There was only one way to kill the Earth Giant, and that was to cut off its head. Apart from that, whether it was cutting off its hands and feet or piercing its heart, it would be useless. They had no heart at all. Only by cutting off their heads could they be killed. Soon, a huge statue appeared in front of him. A giant with a golden body, with its hands in a sky-supporting position, stood in the yellow sand. The Earth Giant's warning range exceeded 10,000 meters. As long as one approached it within 10,000 meters, they would wake up. Before they woke up, all attacks were ineffective against them. In other words, thinking of launching long-range strikes against them within 10,000 meters would be useless. Lin Moyu knew that this was the rule of the lowest desert, and he could only abide by it, just like abiding by the dungeon rules in a small world. If it were before, Lin Moyu might have chosen to detour. But at this moment, a faint light flashed on Lin Moyu's body, and his aura rose rapidly. Skill Origin Skill, Gathering Power. 4.7 His aura rose steadily, breaking through to the God King realm almost instantly, and then soaring all the way. In less than 2 seconds, his aura stabilized at the limit of God King 8th Order. As long as he went a little further, he would reach God King 9th Order. The light of the Gathering Power skill had just gone out, and the light of the Strong Soldier skill lit up again. With the blessing of the Strong Soldier skill, all attack damage was strengthened 10 times, and he could absorb the opponent's soul. Lin Moyu's combat power truly reached the limit of God King 8th Order. Under the enhancement of the 2 major source magics, Lin Moyu's soul couldn't hold on for long and needed to be replenished by constantly killing enemies. Lin Moyu's eyes surged with fighting spirit, and with a soft shout, he charged out. As soon as he stepped into the 10,000-meter area, the Earth Giant suddenly awakened. Blinding golden light erupted from its body, the laws of Earth surged wildly, and at the same time, an invisible giant force descended, enveloping Lin Moyu. Chapter 1331. Slaying the Earth Giant, Law Suppression. Lin Moyu, who was rushing forward at high speed, felt his body sink, and the enormous gravity caused his momentum to drop directly, almost plunging headfirst into the sand. Lin Moyu reacted extremely quickly, instantly adjusting his center of gravity and regaining his original momentum. Not only did his speed not slow down, but it became even faster. He transformed into a stream of light, arriving in front of the Earth Giant in the blink of an eye at the fastest speed the Yellow Earth Desert could allow. Holding the sharp bone sword he had obtained from the Skeleton King, he unleashed a simple and unadorned sword strike. The sword light sliced through the yellow sand and landed on the Earth Giant, emitting a piercing friction sound. The incomparably sharp bone sword cut a huge gash in the Earth Giant, revealing the yellow-orange sand inside. The Earth Giant had no bones, no blood, sand was its bones and flesh. The Earth Giant's body was composed of millions of pounds of sand grains, and its entire body was of unknown weight, comparable to a star. Such weight and density pushed the Earth Giant's defense to the limit. Lin Moyu felt that it was even stronger than a stone demon of the same realm. Lin Moyu moved swiftly, unleashing hundreds of sword strikes in an instant. The friction sound was extremely harsh, echoing between heaven and earth along with the whistling wind. The earth giant's body was covered in wounds, but the wounds were rapidly healing as the yellow sand flowed. The next moment, the earth giant completely revived, its 20-meter-tall body twisting, and its huge palm slapped down like swatting a mosquito. Although the earth giant's body was large, its speed was astonishingly fast, which was different from the stone demon. As the palm struck, a vast force surged from all directions, landing on Lin Moyu, as if countless giant hands were firmly grabbing Lin Moyu, preventing him from escaping. This was the power of the earth laws, using the power of laws to trap the opponent, ensuring that its attack would not miss. Lin Moyu didn't dodge or evade, and also unleashed a sword strike towards the giant palm. Bang! Sword and palm collided, setting off monstrous waves. A large hole was punched through the palm, and Lin Moyu emerged from the hole, once again beginning to chop at the earth giant. The edges of the large hole on the earth giant's palm emitted a gray aura, and the sand and stones at the edges were constantly being corroded and dissolved, like completely rotten flesh. This was the power of death from the undead laws. Lin Moyu didn't use the undead laws in his initial storm-like attacks. He wanted to test whether pure physical attacks could cause damage to the earth giant. It could indeed cause damage, but only minor injuries. Even if he could kill the earth giant this way, it would take a lot of time. After a simple test, Lin Moyu understood the earth giant's situation and began to use the undead laws. To eliminate the earth giant, he had to resolve the earth laws on its body. Wrapped in the earth laws, the earth giant had astonishing defense and attack power. Especially at its neck, the earth laws were the most concentrated and intense, and the defense was also the most amazing. The power of death in the undead laws could just corrode and dissolve the earth laws. Lin Moyu's entire body surged with laws, the undead laws domain was activated, and strange stars rose behind him. He rarely fought in person, and the number of times he used the law domain was also very limited. Lin Moyu gave people the feeling that he relied on the undead legion to be invincible. But few people knew that Lin Moyu's undead laws were even better than the undead legion. It was only because the realm of the opponents he encountered was too high, much higher than his own, and the effect of the laws was greatly weakened. If it were the same realm, his enemies would be able to deeply experience the horror of the first-tier laws. The law domain enveloped the earth giant, and the undead laws spread out layer by layer like invisible waves. The law domain was gray and white, with life and death. The strange stars behind his head were also gray and white, and suddenly turned, the gray half blooming with dazzling brilliance. All the white in the law domain retreated, and the gray full of death turned into a thick fog, becoming the main theme. The power of death devoured the earth giant, and the power of death constantly corroded the earth giant's earth laws. The bone sword in Lin Moyu's hand was also covered with a layer of gray, and the bone sword struck the earth giant, cutting out wounds far better than before. The wounds were large and deep, filled with the power of death, accelerating the corrosion of the earth laws. In the blink of an eye, the earth giant's body was covered with wounds, and the earth laws covering its entire body were almost shattered. If Lin Moyu's true realm was only true God 8th order, and his law control was only 24%, he would have killed the earth giant long ago. The earth laws were only third-tier laws, although they were relatively strong among the third-tier laws, they were far from the first-tier undead laws. From the law level, the undead laws suppressed the earth laws. If Lin Moyu's law control also reached the level of God King 8th order, he wouldn't even need to move his sword, just using the undead laws would be enough to kill the earth giant, and it would be killed quickly and easily. The earth giant counterattacked with anger, punching Lin Moyu again and again. It was very fast, and with its heavy body, each attack was powerful enough to destroy hills. Moreover, the earth laws could form constraints, preventing Lin Moyu from dodging. The earth giant's violent fists rained down, hitting non-stop. Lin Moyu also unleashed sword strikes, no less in speed than the earth giant. He didn't dodge or evade, choosing to confront the earth giant head-on, the bone sword and giant fists colliding continuously in midair, the shock waves like raging waves, rippling outwards in circles. The yellow sand within a 10,000-meter radius had all been rolled into the sky, and the yellow sand earth had noticeably subsided. Under hundreds of consecutive collisions, the earth giant's fist shattered. Lin Moyu, carrying the sword light, forcibly severed the earth giant's pair of giant fists. At this time, under the corrosion of the undead laws, the earth laws outside the earth giant's body were very weak, and the formed law armor would collapse at any time. Lin Moyu's eyes fell on the earth giant's neck, where its earth laws were the most concentrated. But now, compared to the beginning, it had weakened many times. He calculated the time, his eyes narrowed, the undead laws fully erupted, and he unleashed a sharp sword light. Art. Godslayer. From the beginning to now, he finally used Godslayer. The sword light of Godslayer lit up at the earth giant's neck, the neck burst, and the earth giant's head flew into the air. The huge body fell backwards, heavily falling on the yellow sand earth, the body shattered into pieces, the laws collapsed, and the body returned to the yellow earth. The head also turned into sand and scattered in the air, from which a crystal-clear crystal core fell out. God King 8th Order Crystal Core, 349 more to go. Lin Moyu put away the crystal core, and along with the crystal core, he also obtained a soul power. The soul power was not strong, less than killing a stone demon of the same realm. Only about 1/3 of a stone demon of the same realm. Lin Moyu knew that this was the difference between a monster and a true living being. The monsters in the Yellow Earth Desert, strictly speaking, cannot be regarded as true living beings. Although they also have souls, and even flesh and blood, they are still different from the living beings of the great world. Being able to get 1/3 of the soul power is already good. At least it can maintain the current state, and also allow his realm to be improved. The source magic dissipated, and the aura returned to its original state. Then a purple light flashed, and the soul experienced the process from collapse to recovery. After a few more seconds, Lin Moyu's aura suddenly began to rise again. Chapter 1332. A small step in realm is a big step in combat power. The soul power obtained from the Earth Giant, after being refined by the Talent Giant Tree and the 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal, turned into extremely pure soul power, becoming Lin Moyu's ladder for improvement. The soul smoothly improved by 1 level, from True God 7th Order to True God 8th Order. The origin of the soul has become stronger again, and the magic star shines brightly in the soul world. Although it's just a small realm improvement, the increase in overall strength is not small. The number of undead legions has not changed. The 3 basic skeletons can still summon 3 million each. Death Knights 1 million, Bone Dragons 500,000, and Legion Overlords are also 1 million. However, due to the insufficient number of undead legions, only 15 Legion Overlords can truly exert their command. The quota is too small, and there is no way around it. The combat power of the 3 basic skeletons has reached the peak of the True God realm, and even touched the level of the God King realm. Death Knights and Bone Dragons, with the blessing of command spells, have reached the 2nd and 3rd levels of the God King realm respectively. Their Legion Overlords have combat power reaching the 5th and 6th levels of the God King realm. Skeleton God Generals have reached the 4th level of the God King realm. As the skeletons improve, the combat power of the Skeleton King also rises. His combat power has reached the 8th level of the God King realm, enough to face any enemy at the 8th level of the God King realm head-on. As Lin Mo's soul improves with his realm, the limit it can accommodate is also rising. Although forcibly increasing it to above the 6th level of the God King realm would still cause the soul to collapse. But Lin Mo feels that he might be able to raise his power to the realm of a minor God Venerate. Not as strong as a God Venerate, but surpassing a God King. This way, in case he encounters a minor God Venerate, he can still fight without using his trump cards. Improving by a small realm has enhanced all aspects. The only 2 things that have not been enhanced are the physical body, which is still at the peak of the True God realm, and is difficult to improve without special cultivation methods. The second is the Elemental Lich, whose improvement depends on high-quality materials. Realm improvement has nothing to do with the Elemental Lich. Lin Mo estimated his current combat power. Because of this improvement, his efficiency in obtaining crystal cores will also be greatly improved. His cooperation with the Skeleton King to kill Earth Giants will be much more efficient. Looking at the swirling yellow sand in the air, Lin Mo moved and continued to advance towards the deeper areas. The closer to the deeper areas, the more Earth Giants there will be, and the density will increase. It is even possible to encounter situations where you have to face more than 2 Earth Giants at the same time. Soon, Lin Mo saw the second Earth Giant. It was still the same as the previous Earth Giant, with its hands raised as if supporting the sky, as if the fireball in the sky was about to fall. Behind it, about 20,000 meters away, was another Earth Giant. Continuing to look into the distance, the number of earth giants began to gradually increase, more and more. They stood in the yellow sand like sculptures, enduring the wind and sand. The previous earth giant was just an appetizer, now is the main course. Lin Mo summoned tens of thousands of legion overlords, and at the same time, 2 skeleton thrones appeared above him with raging flames. 2 skeleton kings stood up from the skeleton thrones at the same time. One skeleton king was 10,000 meters tall, the strongest skeleton king Lin Mo could summon, with the combat power of the 8th level of the God King realm. The other skeleton king was only 100 meters tall, the weakest skeleton king. Its combat power was even inferior to that of a skeleton god general. The weak skeleton king threw the bone sword in his hand to Lin Mo. Lin Mo only needed its sword, not for it to fight. The origin spell was activated, and the aura began to increase sharply, also reaching the limit of the 8th level of the God King realm. Let's go. With a thought from Lin Mo, he and the skeleton king rushed towards the earth giant together. Next to the 10,000-meter tall skeleton king, Lin Mo was as small as a mosquito, insignificant. Even the earth giant in the distance was insignificant. But the strength of combat power cannot be measured by size. The 10,000-meter area was the earth giant's alert line. As the two stepped into it, the earth giant suddenly recovered, and a huge force landed on the skeleton king and Lin Mo at the same time. The skeleton king was tall and had no reaction. Lin Mo was prepared and was not affected either. At the moment when the earth giant recovered, still 5,000 meters apart, the skeleton king had already taken the lead. A huge bone sword at least 7,000 meters long slashed down head-on. With a loud bang, the earth giant was forcibly chopped into the yellow sand. The huge shock wave swept out, like a sandstorm taking off. The huge size brought unparalleled impact, which even the earth giant could not stop. In addition, with the 10x damage brought by the strong soldier spell, the skeleton king's sword had surpassed the 8th level of the God King realm in pure strength. Under the yellow sand, the earth giant held up the huge bone sword with both hands. But it could be seen that its hands had completely collapsed, and the laws of the earth were rapidly repairing it. The undead law domain enveloped it at this moment, and Lin Mo had already arrived. Lin Mo was draped in strange stars, transforming the laws into a strong force of death, quickly corroding the earth giant. The undead law not only prevented the earth giant from recovering, but also concentrated its power to corrode the earth giant's neck. Faintly, Lin Mo could hear the sizzling sound of the earth law being corroded, like cold water poured on a hot iron block. With a thought in his mind, he raised the long sword in his hand. At this moment, the skeleton king also raised the long sword again, and the movements of the one man and one skeleton were exactly the same. Spell. Godslayer. 2 Godslayer strikes erupted at the same time, the target being the earth giant's neck. This was the strongest point, but also the weakness of the earth giant. Under the 2 Godslayer strikes, the neck was instantly cut off, and the head flew into the air. The earth giant's body collapsed, its head turned into sand, and a crystal core fell out. Improving by a small realm greatly increased combat power. Cooperating with the skeleton king, killing earth giants was effortless. Lin Mo put away the crystal core and looked at the earth giant 20,000 meters away, and even the countless earth giants behind it. Hunting now officially begins. Outside the yellow sand earth, stone demon god Venerate came to nightmare god Venerate again. His tone was respectful. Nightmare god Venerate, we have finally contacted the stone demons in the deep area. Nightmare god Venerate did not ask how they contacted, but how Nuos said, did Lin Mo go in? Stone demon god Venerate shook his head, he hasn't gone in yet. He may be collecting crystal cores in the middle area, preparing to summon boss monsters. Our people are ready in the deep area. As long as Lin Mo dares to go in, he will surely die. In his words, stone demon god Venerate was full of confidence. Nightmare god Venerate was not as confident as him, but he did not refute stone demon god Venerate's words. I hope so, but Lin Mo is not easy to deal with. Let your subordinates pass the news back at any time. Stone demon god Venerate nodded. There is one more thing I want to tell you. Nightmare god Venerate hummed. What is it? Stone demon god Venerate said, Lord Jinshi's offspring is also in the deep area. We were able to contact the deep area through Lord Jinshi. Lord Jinshi's offspring said that he will kill Lin Mo and will not let him come out alive. Lord Jinshi's offspring. Nightmare god Venerate's expression changed slightly, and after pondering for a few seconds, I see, I hope so. Chapter 1333. The offspring of Lord Jinshi. Stone demon god Venerate's voice was not soft, and the sound of his soul drifted slowly in the starry sky. Many people heard his words, but most of them did not know who Lord Jinshi he was talking about. However, being addressed as Lord by a dignified god Venerate was obviously unusual. Even Nightmare god Venerate's eyes changed after hearing the 4 words Lord Jinshi. Zhu Qiwu, who was hiding in the dark, also keenly captured their conversation. A storm arose in his heart. He knew Lord Jinshi. He was an old ancestor of the stone demon lineage in the demon race, an old monster who had lived for who knows how many years. Jinshi's realm had long surpassed the god Venerate realm, and his information was only circulated among the human race's high-level officials. The stone demon race's offspring were not offspring in the ordinary sense, but a kind of existence similar to an avatar but different from an avatar. The stone demon spawn is a part of the stone demon race's main body that has been split off. At the same time, it has an independent soul and consciousness, and can be regarded as a continuation of life. A clone is important, but far less important than a spawn. These are not the key issues. The key is the special bloodline of the stone demon lineage. Stone demons undergo a transformation at the final stage of each major realm. This is true for the 9th rank of Transcendent God, the 9th rank of True God, and the 9th rank of God King. After each transformation, their defense will greatly increase. Among them, the transformation at the 9th rank of God King, in addition to the increase in defense, will also bring a special ability to the stone demon, which is the ability to revive. After entering a near-death state, stone demons have a chance to revive, restoring themselves to their peak in a very short period of time. After using this ability once, they only need to wait for a period of time before they can use it again. This ability gives stone demons a more powerful life-saving ability. The stone demon's defense was originally one of the best in the same realm. After 3 transformations in a row, their defense is even more astonishing. Especially with the ability to revive, it becomes even more difficult to kill a stone demon. But stone demons still have shortcomings, that is, their brains are not flexible enough, their understanding of laws is very slow, their cultivation speed is not fast, and their attack power is insufficient. But all of this will change at the 9th rank of God Venerable. At the 9th rank of God Venerable, stone demons will undergo another transformation, the 4th transformation. This transformation is very important and very dangerous for stone demons. Most stone demons will die in this transformation. It can be said that most stone demons cannot reach the 9th rank of God Venerable, and even if they do, most of them will die in the transformation. However, the great world is fair. The more dangerous the thing, the greater the benefits once it succeeds. After the 4th transformation is successful, stone demons will become smarter. Even if they are not extremely intelligent, they will not be weaker than any other race. Not only did they become smarter, but the stone demon's defense will be further strengthened, almost reaching the 1st class level in the same realm. Only a few races in the great world can compare with them. In addition, the revival ability is greatly improved, and there is another chance to revive, making it even more difficult to kill them. But this is not the end, but the real beginning. If the stone demons were just an ordinary race in the hell lineage of the demon race before, then after the 9th rank of God Venerable, they will become a top race. Especially after surpassing God Venerable, the stone demon race will also give birth to a new special ability. Moreover, this special ability can be inherited, not to clones, but to spawn. Jinshi's spawn must have inherited Jinshi's special ability. As for what special ability it is, Zhu Qiwu doesn't know. But he knows that with this special ability, the stone demon's combat power will be very terrifying. Perhaps the 9th rank of God King can be comparable to a little God Venerable. If it is a little God Venerable, perhaps he can compete with a true God Venerable. Zhu Qiwu is not worried about Lin Moyu's safety. He is worried that this mission may fail. But Lin Moyu also has trump cards. If he becomes ruthless, it is not impossible to kill Jinshi's spawn. Will that provoke Jinshi to take action recklessly? Above the 10-star fortress of the human race, Zhu Qiwu's main body opened his eyes, holding a jade token in his hand. He used his soul force to communicate with the jade token, reporting the situation in the yellow sand desert. He explained his worries, mainly worrying about whether the demon race's Jinshi would take action recklessly. Although there are regulations that existences like Jinshi cannot personally take action. But it's better to be safe than sorry. Even if Lin Moyu has life-saving trump cards, even if he takes action, he is afraid that Lin Moyu's life will not be guaranteed. After a moment, he received a reply. The content of the reply was only 3 words, understood. Receiving these 3 words, Zhu Qiwu felt relieved. He knew that the adults above would definitely be watching Jin Shi, and would not let him act rashly. In the yellow sand desert, Lin Moyu became more and more skilled in killing, and faster. Earth giants fell one after another, almost none of them lasted more than 1 minute. Lin Moyu and the Skeleton King cooperated tacitly, killing all the way. In less than a day, Lin Moyu had already collected 358th order crystal cores. Even if he had to collect 1008th order crystal cores from scratch, it would not be difficult for Lin Moyu, and it would take no more than 4 days at most. 4 days can be worth the efforts of hundreds of stone demons for decades. The difference in efficiency between the two is too great. This also further illustrates that the stone demon's own attack power is too weak, and there are too many restrictions. However, Lin Moyu did not underestimate the stone demon. The stone demon can become the main force of the hell lineage of the demon race, and it must have its merits. According to the human race's information, stone demons, because of their powerful defense, are also a headache for cultivators of various races on the battlefield. After collecting enough crystal cores, Lin Moyu retreated thousands of kilometers and chose an open area. This place is full of yellow sand, and there are open areas everywhere. The so-called open space refers to the absence of extra monsters around. His aura gradually sank, the effect of the source spell passed, and Lin Moyu's soul uncontrollably collapsed. In the purple light of the supreme talent, the soul was reorganized again, returning to its peak. After repeated killings, and gaining a lot of soul power, Lin Moyu's soul was strengthened again. It's just that it's still a bit far from the 9th rank of True God. Lin Moyu waited for the cooldown of the supreme talent to end, and then took out the crystal cores and piled them together. Thousands of crystal cores piled up into a small mountain, reflecting a hazy fluorescent light under the hot light, which was very beautiful. Originally, the crystal cores were in charge of their own affairs and did not affect each other. When the number exceeded the rule limit, all the crystal cores simultaneously burst out with a brighter light than usual. The light of the crystal cores gathered together, and then turned into a beam of light, soaring into the sky. The sky was rendered golden yellow, even covering the light of the fireball. Not only did it cover the light, but even the heat was blocked by the golden yellow sky. The earth raised a sky full of yellow sand, covering the sky and the sun. The sky gradually darkened, and the temperature also dropped sharply. In less than 5 minutes, the temperature dropped to near freezing. From the scorching high temperature that was enough to burn true gods and low-level god kings, it dropped to a level close to freezing. Lin Moyu saw a layer of frost appearing on the yellow sand. Immediately afterwards, a torrential rain poured down. Chapter 1334 My little world is wrong. There is water in the yellow sand desert. Oases are the best proof. Where there is water, there is naturally water element, and the oases will not be evaporated. Lin Moyu felt the law of the water system from it. At this moment, in the sudden torrential rain, Lin Moyu also felt the water-based law. The rain became heavier and heavier, the rain wet the sand, and the sand flying all over the sky turned into mud and fell. The earth became moist, turning from sand into mud. The world became pitch black, and you couldn't see your fingers. Boom! Lightning roared and smashed into the mud, splashing large pieces of mud and rocks. In the brief moment of light, Lin Moyu saw a touch of green. In the place where the crystal cores were piled up before, a touch of lush green was growing vigorously. It welcomed the wind and bathed in the rain, growing rapidly, becoming more and more burly. Boom! Another thunderbolt struck it, igniting flames, which were extinguished by the rain. Not only was it not destroyed by the lightning, but it became even more powerful. In just a few minutes, it grew from a small seedling to a towering tree. It absorbed the power of the earth, the power of the rain, and the power of lightning. The bark of the big tree began to blacken, turning into an incredibly sturdy tree shell. The tree continued to grow, 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters. It grew thicker and taller. Huge vines hung down and grew, each vine exceeding 5 meters in diameter, looking less like vines and more like giant clubs. Being struck by one would probably shatter a body into pieces. Even with Lin Moyu's peak true god physique, he couldn't withstand many hits. There were thousands upon thousands of such vines, endless in number. Many new, tender leaves grew on the vines, with dense barbs between the leaves. Each barb was half a meter long, with an incredibly sharp tip, definitely capable of piercing a person full of holes. Finally, the tree stopped growing when it reached 1,000 meters in height. It blotted out the sky and the sun. Just one tree looked like an entire forest. The dense foliage blocked out the light, making the area around its trunk as dark as night. This was a leader-level monster, with its strength reaching the peak of the Divine King 8th level. It looked similar to a tree monster but was far more powerful. Even if 1,000 tree monsters were tied together, they wouldn't be its match. The countless vines lashing out would be enough to instantly kill a tree monster. Lin Moyu had already retreated when the rain started, watching the appearance of the leader monster quietly, observing every change. He knew that he couldn't harm the leader monster before it fully formed, so there was no need to rush. The yellow light in the sky gradually dissipated, the rain stopped, and the yellow sand no longer flew. At this moment, Lin Moyu suddenly received a message. Leader monster. Tree of Death. Realm. Divine King 8th level. Restriction. If the attacker's realm exceeds the Tree of Death by more than 2 levels, no items will drop. If it exceeds by 1 level, the drop rate is halved. The Tree of Death exists for 2 hours. The message was directly reflected in his mind, and Lin Moyu was stunned when he received it. He had previously thought that the Yellow Sand Desert was somewhat similar to the dungeons in the Small World. Now, suddenly receiving a reminder, it was exactly like a dungeon in the Small World. Damn it, what exactly is going on with my small world? Lin Moyu's mind was surging. He suddenly realized that his birthplace, the small world, had too many differences from the great world. His small world seemed to be full of secrets, enormous secrets. Suddenly, a sense of danger arose in his heart, and he saw a black shadow lashing towards him. A vine crossed tens of thousands of meters of space, striking down head-on. He immediately exerted force under his feet, moving sideways hundreds of meters. The vine struck the yellow sand ground, creating a huge gash hundreds of meters deep. The sand in the gash turned black and charred, as if struck by lightning. Immediately afterward, more vines lashed over, and Lin Moyu immediately dodged. He didn't want to be hit. It wouldn't kill him, but it definitely wouldn't feel good. The Tree of Death frantically waved its vines, lashing at Lin Moyu from all angles and in various ways. Lin Moyu was very agile, constantly dodging. His previous thoughts were interrupted by the Tree of Death's attack, and now he shifted his attention to the Tree of Death. The Tree of Death has absorbed the power of earth, rain, and lightning. The law of earth gave it formidable defense, and the law of lightning gave it attack power. The law of water gave it powerful recovery ability, and as a plant-based monster, it possesses great vitality. And we must also consider that it is a leader monster, with even greater vitality. Lin Moyu thought for a while and knew that even if he raised his power to the Divine King 9th level, it would be difficult to kill the Tree of Death. The Tree of Death was originally a leader monster, not meant for one person to kill, but for a group of people to kill. The stone demons needed hundreds of Divine King 7th levels and dozens of Divine King 8th levels working together and spending great effort to kill the Tree of Death. 0 AA seeking fresh flowers 0 AAAAAAAAA. Lin Moyu extinguished the idea of taking action himself, as that was somewhat unrealistic. Without external replenishment, his soul power would continuously diminish after being blessed by dual origin spells, which he couldn't maintain for long enough to kill the Tree of Death. If he didn't use origin spells, then the remaining methods were few and far between. First of all, the Undead Legion was definitely not reliable. Although the Skeleton King had the battle power of the Divine King 8th level, there was only one after all. If there were 10 or 8, he could try, but unfortunately, there was only one, and Lin Moyu decisively gave up. The Death Knight Legion and Bone Dragon Legion were also not suitable, as their battle power was too different. The two legions could still fight ordinary Divine King 8th level monsters, but leader level monsters were just delivering food. 0. Given the size and scale of the Tree of Death, it was not afraid of being ganged up on at all. The final Skeleton God General, with its mere Divine King 4th level battle power, even if it executed a scraping tactic, would probably not keep up with the Tree of Death's recovery speed. He couldn't do it himself, and the Undead Legion couldn't do it. Then the only remaining methods were the Elemental Lich and Corpse Explosion. Lin Moyu had 2 portions of Divine King 9th level Stone Demon Flesh and more than a dozen portions of Divine King 8th level Stone Demon Flesh, but Lin Moyu was not sure if he could blast the opponent to death. After all, this was a leader-level monster, and a plant-based one at that, plus the law of water, its vitality was unbelievably strong. Moreover, the Divine King 9th level flesh was still useful, so he shouldn't use it if he didn't have to. As for the Void Wolf flesh, that was a divine Venerable realm material, a trump card for saving his life, and Lin Mo Yu would not use it unless absolutely necessary. After slightly weighing the gains and losses, Lin Mo Yu had an idea in his mind. The beautiful, dreamlike Starlight Lich, as beautiful as the starry sky, emerged in response, turning into a beautiful Milky Way above the Tree of Death. The beautiful Milky Way reflected a hazy light, enveloping the Tree of Death. The Tree of Death's attacks immediately became chaotic. Originally, it was chasing Lin Mo Yu, but now it suddenly lashed at other locations. As a leader-level monster, its vitality even surpassed the Divine King 9th level, and its attacks were close to the Divine King 9th level. But it had to be admitted that it was still a Divine King 8th level existence and would still be affected by illusions. The Starlight Lich weaved out an illusion, disrupting its attacks. Then, flames flickered around Lin Mo Yu, and the Flame Lich leapt out. A fiery river of laws reappeared in the sky, pouring down and engulfing the Tree of Death in intense flames. Chapter 1335, The Difficult-to-Kill Leader Monster. The Tree of Death went mad in the flames, its countless vines dancing wildly, lashing out randomly. The scorching flames burned the vines, ignited the branches, and huge vines were devoured by the flames one by one. The flames grew more and more intense, and the Divine King 9th level Flame Lich, summoning a projection of the River of Laws, devoured the Tree of Death's life with the nearly complete law of fire. The Tree of Death went crazy, and its vines lashed out more and more fiercely. In this map cannon-like attack, the Flame Lich was inevitably attacked as well. However, the Flame Lich was composed of elements and had no real entity. Ordinary physical attacks could not harm it, only laws could harm it. It hid in the projection of the River of Laws, greatly weakening the Tree of Death's attacks and not suffering any damage. It wouldn't have been so smooth originally. The Starlight Lich's illusion blinded the Tree of Death's senses, preventing it from fully attacking the Flame Lich, and the entire battle situation completely tilted towards Lin Mo Yu's side. 980. Looking at the situation as if he had the upper hand, Lin Mo Yu was not complacent. If leader-level monsters were so easy to deal with, then they would not deserve to be called leader monsters. More than 10 minutes later, the vines were burned to pieces, and a layer of black ash covered the yellow sand ground. That was the ash left behind after the Tree of Death's vines were burned to death. The flames had spread to the Tree of Death's main trunk, and it began to burn the main trunk. It seemed that the Tree of Death no longer had any power to resist, and victory was in sight. The main trunk, thousands of meters tall, and the seemingly lush branches would take quite a while to burn even if set on fire. Suddenly, the earth trembled violently, and the yellow sand land rolled like waves. Sand dunes rose from the ground one after another, and then the dunes exploded, with countless roots extracting themselves from underground. The roots were thicker than vines, exuding an astonishing vitality. The Tree of Death was so huge that one could imagine its root system must be very developed. At this moment, the roots were pulled out from the ground and appeared in Lin Mo's eyes. Lin Mo's pupils constricted, and his gaze became solemn. Along with the roots, large patches of clear water also emerged. The clear water carried a rich water-based law, shooting out from underground like fountains. Almost in an instant, nearly 100 fountains appeared on the yellow earth. The clear water from the fountains fell on the branches, temporarily stopping the fire. The water-based law irrigated the Tree of Death, creating a strong vitality. The burned vines were rapidly reborn, growing out one by one, very quickly. In just 2 minutes, the previously burned vines completed their rebirth. Even the scorched parts of the trunk returned to their original state. The water was still gushing out, seemingly trying to turn this place into an oasis. Lin Mo stared intently, feeling the almost endless water-based law beneath the ground. There's an underground river. Lin Mo already knew the answer, realizing that there was an underground river, otherwise where would so much water come from? Moreover, this water was all water of law, not afraid of being burned by flames. Now, even if the Flame Lich used all its power, it would be difficult to burn the opponent to death. The boss monster was indeed not so easy to deal with, completely different from ordinary monsters. Lin Mo thought of his previous dungeon runs, where it was often like this. The boss monster was equivalent to the boss in the dungeon, naturally not so easy to kill. The recovered tree of death launched another attack, with a layer of water covering the newly grown vines. The flame lish's damage to it was greatly reduced. When the vines whipped, there was a crackling sound, as if lightning was flowing through them. The vines were too dense, constantly hitting the elemental lish's Lost Star River projection. The Lost Star River shook non-stop. Lin Mo told the flame lich to shrink the Lost Star River to reduce the probability of being attacked, and temporarily did not need it to attack. Currently, the flame lish's attack had lost its effect, and the damage caused could not keep up with the Tree of Death's recovery speed. Lin Mo pondered the method. It's just not easy to kill, but it's not to say it can't be killed. The stone demons relied on their numbers to push through. As long as there were 100 or so rank 8 God Kings, they could still push through with a strong attack. If there aren't so many rank 8 God Kings, would replacing them with 3 rank 9 God Kings be enough? 3 rank 9 God Kings, plus a dozen rank 8 God King stone demons, should be about enough. A rank 9 God King's drop rate is halved, and having a few more also halves the drop rate. It won't be affected in any way. Isn't this a loophole? Originally, he wanted to solve the boss monster at the smallest cost, but it seemed impossible now. Fortunately, due to the influence of the illusion, the boss monster didn't have much resistance. As long as he could solve it in the remaining time, he could get the key. Lin Mo stopped thinking and took out a piece of flesh and blood from a rank 9 God King stone demon. The undying flames burned fiercely, and a large number of stones were born out of thin air. The flesh was reborn, and the soul was reorganized. A dozen seconds later, a rank 9 God King stone demon appeared beside Lin Mo. Immediately afterward, Lin Mo took out all the rank 8 God King stone demon flesh and blood. The undying flames exploded, turning all the rank 8 God King stone demons into revenants. In total, there were 18 rank 8 God King stone demons and 1 rank 9 God King stone demon. Then, the skeleton throne appeared, and the rank 8 God King skeleton king rose from the throne. The skeleton king was 10,000 meters tall, even taller than the Tree of Death. But in terms of combat power, it was indeed inferior to the Tree of Death. Lin Mo took a deep breath. Let's begin. His aura rose steadily, and he activated the original spell again. A faint light flashed on his body, and the power-gathering spell was applied, quickly increasing his strength, and in the blink of an eye, it also reached the peak of rank 9 God King. A burst of throbbing pain came from his soul, warning Lin Mo that his soul could collapse at any time. Then the faint light changed, and the strengthening soldier's spell was applied again. Soul power was consumed sharply, but what it brought was vast power. Counting the Flame Lich, there were a total of 19 rank 8 God Kings and 3 rank 9 God Kings. Lin Mo didn't believe they couldn't kill the Tree of Death. Charge! With an order, all the stone demons curled up into balls, transforming into stone balls and crashing towards the Tree of Death. They rolled with momentum, breaking one vine after another. The Tree of Death's vines were too dense, and there were not many gaps left in the frantic whipping. At this moment, the Skeleton King waved his bone sword, spell, Godslayer. The sword light exploded on a large number of vines, and the vines broke in response, cutting out a passage for the stone demons. Lin Mo transformed into light, rushing over at the fastest speed. He surpassed the stone demons, and took the lead in rushing into the passage cut out by the Skeleton King. 5 within the passage, there were still a large number of vines. Lin Mo also swung his sword, spell, Godslayer. The same spell as the Skeleton King, but more powerful than the Skeleton King. He was at the peak of rank 9 God King, so it was normal for the power to be greater. A large number of vines broke, and although the Tree of Death was trapped in the illusion, it also felt that it was being attacked. In the next moment, more vines whipped over. Lin Mo wielded his bone sword, cutting off all the vines that whipped over. The Skeleton King also arrived at this moment. He wielded an even larger bone sword, and a large number of vines broke with a single sweep. The Skeleton King's attack attracted the Tree of Death, and the Tree of Death instinctively concentrated its attack in the direction of the Skeleton King, making the path for Lin Mo and the stone demons to advance smoother. Lin Mo opened his Law Domain, the huge Law Domain enveloping the branches of the Tree of Death. Behind him, strange stars rose, and in an instant, all the undying law was transformed into the power of death. Chapter 1336. If you can't hit it, then open the map cannon. The undying law was like waves, like thick fog, layering towards the Tree of Death. The Tree of Death was covered with a layer of water, the water containing the water-based law, greatly weakening the Flame Lich's damage. At this time, the undying law collided with the water-based law, quickly dissolving the water-based law, turning the water into ordinary clear water. Without the water-based law, it would be difficult to resist the Flame Lich's attack. The Flame Lich took advantage of the situation, and clusters of white water mist rose rapidly. A large amount of water was evaporated, making a sizzling sound. The fire once again enveloped the Tree of Death. The Tree of Death instinctively felt the danger approaching, and it became even more frantic. The vines whipped, and the roots also vibrated wildly. The yellow sand flew in the air, and the vines flew out from the yellow sand, whipping at the Skeleton King from a distance of over 10,000 meters. In fact, the Tree of Death was in an illusion, unable to lock onto the Skeleton King at all. It could only roughly judge a direction. The Skeleton King was too large. With a body of 10,000 meters, it was impossible to dodge all the vines. The Skeleton King danced his bone sword, cutting off a large number of vines. Suddenly the ground collapsed, and countless roots flew out from underground, tightly wrapping it. The roots pulled hard, and the huge power O2 pulled the Skeleton King towards the ground. The Skeleton King lost his balance and fell to the ground with a bang. At this time, countless vines whipped over, landing on the Skeleton King, and for a time, white bones were broken and scattered. White light filled the Skeleton King, and the Legion commander quickly healed him. The earth rumbled, and the yellow sand ground within a radius of 100,000 meters suddenly collapsed, causing the Legion commanders to lose their balance. Countless roots surged out from under the yellow sand ground within a radius of 100,000 meters. The root system of the Death Tree was astonishingly developed. The healing was interrupted, and under the dense attack of vines, the Skeleton King's body was torn apart in less than half a second, collapsing with a bang. The power of the illusion is weakening. Lin Moyu's heart tensed as he sensed the information transmitted back by the Starlight Lich. Although the Death Tree was only at the 8th rank of the God King realm, it was a boss monster, and the power required to cast an illusion on it was far greater than that required for other 8th rank God Kings. It was even more difficult than dealing with a 9th rank God King. After maintaining it for more than 10 minutes, the Starlight Lich's illusion power began to weaken gradually. This also allowed the Death Tree to roughly sense the existence of the Skeleton King, and it directly launched a fierce attack. Lin Moyu was not surprised that the Skeleton King was destroyed. The large size was both the Skeleton King's advantage and its disadvantage. At this moment, he and the stone demons had already rushed under the Death Tree, and the Skeleton King's mission was declared complete. The stone demons quickly transformed into their normal shapes. They unfolded their bodies, waved their huge fists, and smashed them towards the Death Tree. A hazy light emanated from the stones, and the fists carried earth and stone like laws, landing one after another like blacksmithing. The stone demons' attacks were simple and unadorned, without fancy techniques, only punches to the flesh. They had no special abilities, and their transformations, mastering a small number of spells, were all to increase their defense. Their attack power was not strong, and they were considered weak among those of the same realm. But their endurance was amazing, and they could attack continuously. Given time, the total damage they caused would not be small. The fists were as dense as rain, and the solid tree shell was smashed with holes. The bark burst open, revealing the tree flesh inside. The stone demons had no intention of stopping. Their attacks became even more fierce, smashing the tree flesh into pieces. The bone sword in Lin Moyu's hand also did not stop. The sword light flickered, and large pieces of bark were cut into fragments under the sword. His strength was very strong, reaching the limit of the 9th rank of the God King realm, and the damage he caused alone was comparable to that of all the stone demons. The water-based laws on the surface of the Death Tree had been corroded by the laws of undeath. The water was evaporated by the Flame Lich, and the flames once again enveloped the Death Tree. The Death Tree felt the threat to its life, and the entire trunk began to shake violently. A large number of leaves fell from the tree, each leaf exceeding 1 meter in diameter, extremely huge. The leaves danced in the air, and then exploded with a bang. At the moment the leaves exploded, thunder rumbled, and countless electric snakes flew out, weaving into a dense electric net, covering Lin Moyu and all the stone demons. The Flame Lich and the Starlight Lich were also affected by the electric net, and the projected Lost Star River they summoned constantly trembled and shook, as if it would collapse at any time. The electric snakes hit the stone demons, causing their skin to crack and bleed. For a time, the stone demons fell into a state of paralysis, making it difficult to attack. Lin Moyu was not affected by abnormal states. Although the lightning laws in the electric snakes could also cause damage to him, it was still within his tolerance. The undead in the spell constellation shared his damage, and the Legion commander constantly healed the undead. Another map-wide attack. If you can't hit them, just use a map-wide attack, as expected of a boss monster, really smart. The death tree was affected by the illusion, making it difficult to lock onto specific targets. Even if the illusion was weakened, his and the stone demon's targets were too small, like small birds on a tree to the death tree. So a map-wide attack became the best choice, covering all directions, and no one could escape. The stone demons froze in place, unable to move under the attack of the electric snakes, falling into paralysis. The electric snakes seemed to have eyes, sensing the attacked stone demons, and began to focus their fire. A large number of electric snakes flew over, wanting to kill the stone demons. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed. He knew it was because there were too few stone demons. If there were hundreds of 8th rank God King stone demons, there would be no need to fear this kind of map-wide attack. Electric snake attacks have the same characteristic as his spells: the more targets attacked, the weaker the power. As long as there were enough stone demons, the damage could be spread out. But now he only had less than 20 stone demons, which was obviously a disadvantage. His heart hardened. Self-destruct. He issued the order in his mind, and then a loud bang rang out. A stone demon suddenly self-destructed, and a huge force swept out. The stone demon was close to the death tree, and most of the self-destruction force was borne by the death tree. Immediately afterwards, the 763 stone demons self-destructed one after another. The roar continued to sound, and a large number of branches and roots were blown off. Huge holes were blasted in the tree. The bark had long been destroyed by fists, and now even the tree flesh inside had been blasted with terrifying gaps. In the self-destruction, Lin Moyu saw a touch of green, followed by a strange aura transmitted out. This aura contained powerful laws of life. Laws of life. Lin Moyu was very sensitive to the laws of life, and clearly felt it the first time. In the center of the tree, was the emerald green tree core, and the tree core contained the laws of life. No wonder it has such vigorous vitality, it's actually hiding the laws of life. As long as the tree core is destroyed, the death tree can be severely damaged. Lin Moyu raised the bone sword in his hand and slashed at the tree core. Spell. Godslayer. The sword light exploded on the tree core, and the tree core was instantly slashed with dense cracks. The most troublesome thing was not the Godslayer strike, but the power of death contained in the laws of undeath in the attack. The power of death drilled into the tree core, corroding the laws of life inside. The tree core was attacked, and the death tree shook frantically. Countless vines lashed over. Lin Moyu turned back his sword, waved out a sword curtain, and cut off all the vines. The flame lich pounced at this moment, and plunged into the tree core. In an instant, flames soared into the sky, filling the entire death tree. Chapter 1337. Reviewing the battle, estimating combat power. The death tree let out a hoarse and unpleasant scream. From the start of the battle until now, Lin Moyu heard the death tree's cry for the first time. He knew that this time it was really hurting its foundation. Whether it was vines, bark, or roots. In fact, for the huge death tree, they were just skin injuries. Only the tree core was its real weakness. Even if all the vines were burned out and cut off, it would not be as good as stabbing the tree core with a sword. It was just that the tree core was usually hidden inside the tree, protected by thick tree shells, bark, and tree flesh, making it difficult to hurt it. The tree core was exposed in the continuous self-destruction of the stone demons. The flame lich drilled into the tree core and started arson. The Lost Star River projection in the sky once again poured down flames, also drilling into the tree core. The entire death tree instantly turned into a flame tree, the fire soaring into the sky, like a pillar of fire rushing tens of thousands of meters into the sky, continuously. Subsequently, the flames began to spread outward from the tree, quickly spreading to every branch, every vine, and all the roots. Lin Moyu could feel that the death tree's aura was rapidly weakening. But it was still making its final resistance, and a large amount of life-filled clear water could be seen being sucked over by it, also entering the tree core, attempting to extinguish the flames. Lin Mo smiled lightly. "Let me see you off on your final journey." He brandished his bone sword and plunged fiercely into the hole in the tree trunk. Like a drill, he carved a path through the tree, from the very bottom to the top of the tree of death. The entire tree core was torn to shreds by him. The tree of death let out a mournful cry, its branches drooping weakly, its dancing vines all ceasing their movements, and its roots no longer active. Its life force dissipated, and it welcomed death. Seconds later, the tree of death's massive body turned to ashes. 2 items fell from within. Lin Mo picked them up. One was a key to the deeper area. Soul power flowed out, activating the key. The key vanished, and Lin Mo gained an indescribable aura, knowing that he was now qualified to enter the deeper area. The other item was an earthy yellow tree branch. The branch was about the thickness of a thumb, about 30 centimeters long, and contained a strong earth law within it. He used a detection spell to check it, and unsurprisingly, there were no results. The yellow earth desert appeared due to chaotic rules, and detection spells generally do not provide answers for things within chaotic rules. Lin Mo pondered for a few seconds and put it away. Originally, he wanted to use it to try summoning an elemental lich. According to his observation, the branch was a material of extremely high quality. But after thinking about it, he didn't do so. Since it was something dropped by a boss monster, it might be useful later. Just like the crystal cores dropped by monsters before, they were useless in the outer area, but in the middle area, crystal cores were needed to summon boss monsters. So, might this material dropped by the boss monster play a role in the deeper area? After the boss monster died, the sky returned to normal, fireballs once again became the rulers, and the earth was once again covered in yellow sand. All traces of the previous battle were erased, as if nothing had happened. Lin Mo stood in the yellow sand, not heading towards the deeper area. Purple light flickered around his body, his soul had just recovered from collapse. During the battle, he had raised his realm to the 9th rank of God King, and his soul was bearing immense pressure. If his soul quality hadn't been high enough, it would have collapsed on the spot. After the boss monster died, Lin Mo withdrew the source technique, and his soul finally couldn't bear the collapse. Under the talent, the soul recovered, and at the same time, it gained an extremely strong soul power. This was the soul power that the source technique had absorbed from the boss monster. At this moment, the giant tree of talent and the 9-colored dragon soul crystal were desperately refining and purifying this soul power, and it would soon be sent to Lin Mo's soul. Lin Mo closed his eyes and pondered, thinking about the process of the battle just now. Without a doubt, the tree of death was the strongest enemy he had ever encountered, giving him the illusion of returning to a dungeon to fight a boss. Lin Mo replayed the battle process, checking whether there were any flaws in his battle and whether he could further optimize it. If he encountered similar enemies in the future, could he solve them with simpler methods? He still had a mortal enemy, no, more than one. The starry sky giant tree and the Zerg were all his great enemies. Lin Mo believed that sooner or later, the two sides would meet. Using the tree of death as a reference, perhaps he could analyze the weaknesses of the starry sky giant tree. I was too conservative before, losing my original intention. A lion uses its full strength to hunt a rabbit, and breaking through the surface with a single point. I didn't do these 2 points well. If from the beginning, I had used all my strength, the stone demon, me, the skeleton king, and the lich, perhaps we could have caught the tree of death off guard, leaving it no chance to react. If I had known from the beginning that the tree of death's weakness was the tree core, then I could have broken through the surface with a single point and directly attacked the weakness. The combat method is not perfect enough, the knowledge is not perfect enough. After going back, I have to check the information carefully to improve my knowledge. At the same time, I am insufficient in high-end combat power. If it weren't for the stone demon this time, I'm afraid it would have been difficult to solve the tree of death. But how to improve high-end combat power? Fusion technique, perhaps I can start from this aspect. I 1/2 a diaresis. I also need to collect some high-level starry sky giant beast or alien races flesh and blood for future needs. After reviewing the battle process, Lin Mo also evaluated his combat power. Ordinary 9th rank God King monsters are not difficult for him to deal with. Whether it's himself or the elemental lich, they can easily deal with them. Especially the elemental lich, with the starlight lich and the flame lich cooperating with each other, they can almost kill the 9th rank God Kings of various races. But if he encounters a boss monster in the deeper area, then he will be beyond his ability. Even the tree of death was so difficult to fight, the boss monsters in the deeper area must be at the level of the 9th rank God King, and their true combat power is probably close to the little god Venerable. In addition, with the vitality of the boss monster, even if he uses all his means, unless he uses his life-saving trump card, it will be really difficult to deal with. However, if he wants to break through the deeper area and enter the deepest part of the Yellow Earth Desert, he must kill the boss monster inside. No wonder only little god venerables have a chance to enter the deepest part. Moreover, one little god venerable may not be enough. Shu Qingyong may have done it by joining forces with multiple little god venerables back then. But he failed to bring out Qian Nuo Zhao, the news, so it led to others forming a misjudgment, and they don't know the specific situation inside at all. With my current strength, there is still a bit of a gap. It seems that I still need to improve my strength a bit more. Lin Mo thought, if he could be promoted to the 9th rank of True God, then maybe he could solve the boss monsters in the deeper area alone. Just as he was thinking, pure and majestic soul power poured in. The soul suddenly felt a burst of warmth, like entering a hot spring, and the soul began to grow rapidly. His aura increased rapidly, and his realm took another step forward. The boss monster gave a lot of soul power. After Lin Mo absorbed it, he was not far from the 9th rank of True God. According to the calculation of soul power, I only need to kill 500 or 600 more earth giants of the 8th rank of God King to be promoted to the 9th rank of True God. But in this way, the degree of control over the laws seems to be insufficient again. There's no way, I'll make up for it later. After resting for half an hour, Lin Mo held the bone sword and walked towards the earth giants. Chapter 1338 When did the stone demon become smart? On the way to the deeper area, there are many earth giants, enough for Lin Mo to kill until he reaches the 9th rank of True God. He and the Skeleton King cooperated with each other, and they didn't even need the elemental lich to take action, killing one earth giant after another. One crystal core after another fell into his hands, and Lin Mo collected them all. With the previous lesson, under the premise of not knowing the rules of the deeper area, collecting the crystal cores will not be wrong. 3 days later, a touch of green appeared in front of Lin Mo, and water elements carrying laws rushed towards him. Lin Mo came to the edge of the oasis and sat down, sucking a stream of clear water into his abdomen, and a cool feeling spread throughout his body. Even if he is fearless of the heat, it does not mean that he likes this high temperature. Sitting on the edge of the oasis, looking at the junction of the two areas in front. Here, he can clearly feel the aura from the deeper area. Lin Mo ignored it for the time being, resting well when he should rest. At the same time, he felt the power belonging to the 9th rank of True God, controlling this power, and completely integrating it into himself, into the soul. In these 3 days, he almost non-stop killed a full 600 earth giants, harvested 600 crystal cores, and at the same time pushed his realm to the 9th rank of True God. After reaching the 9th rank of True God, his law control reached 26%. If he goes further and increases the law control to 30%, he can smoothly enter the God King realm. With his soul quality, entering the God King realm will be a smooth path, with no difficulty at all. Now the only problem is the law control. If he continues to promote the soul and forcibly increase the control of the law by increasing the soul, he can indeed be promoted to the God King. But this will cause the problem of fundamental instability. It may not be obvious in the short term, but it is not a good thing in the long term. Lin Mo knows this very well, he wants to take every step solidly. So after reaching the 9th rank of True God, he no longer hunts any earth giants. From True God rank 9 to God King, a vast amount of soul force is needed. He converted this soul force into his own redundancy. After entering the deeper area, he might face constant battles. Not only monsters and demons, but also boss-level monsters. He didn't want to suddenly advance to God King while fighting, that would be terrible. After resting for a moment, Lin Moyu turned his head to look at the pile of stones not far away. The stone pile, like a small mountain, was engraved with strange runes. This is the exit of the Yellow Earth Desert, and you can leave the Yellow Earth Desert through this stone pile. There are such stone piles in every oasis, Lin Moyu had seen them before. But the stone pile here seemed a little different. Lin Moyu didn't approach, but retreated a few steps. He summoned a skeleton god warrior and let the skeleton god warrior approach the stone pile. Just as the skeleton god warrior was 10 meters away from the stone pile, it suddenly disappeared. Lin Moyu always maintained a connection with the skeleton god warrior. At the moment it disappeared, Lin Moyu activated undead vision. In the undead vision, Lin Moyu saw a large expanse of soul fire. Each group of soul fire was extremely vigorous and powerful. Immediately afterwards, overwhelming attacks fell, and the skeleton god warrior collapsed on the spot. But the next second, Undying Undead activated, and the skeleton god warrior immediately resurrected. This resurrection was obviously beyond the opponent's expectations, and they didn't react for a while. It was during the opponent's days that Lin Moyu saw the opponent's appearance clearly. In the gray and white world, sand was flying in the air, and a sandstorm was raging. In the sandstorm, stone demons with majestic auras stared at him with scarlet eyes. The next second, the attacks fell again overwhelmingly, and the skeleton god warrior was killed again. This time Lin Moyu didn't let it resurrect, but let it return to the spell star. He already knew what was going on. He got up and left without stopping, turning into a beam of light and disappearing into the vast desert. After Lin Moyu left, dozens of dark figures appeared at the junction of the middle and deep areas. Stone demons of God King Rank9 appeared, their eyes sweeping across the oasis. Finding that Lin Moyu had left, they silently returned to the deeper area. Lin Moyu stopped after being a million kilometers away from the oasis. It seems they already know about the massacre of the stronghold, and have prepared a trap to wait for me. As long as I enter the deeper area, I will be besieged. If I choose to retreat and leave, I will be teleported into the trap they set up earlier when I approach the stone pile. They thought it through quite well, the stone demon's brains don't seem that bad. Lin Moyu said to himself with a hint of jest. Looking at the fireball above his head, the deeper area belongs to the range radiated by fireballs 8 and 9. Although there are only 2 areas, their area is larger than the middle and outer areas. He had just entered Area 8 from Area 6. But Area 6 is not only connected to Area 8, but also to Area 9. The deeper area is so large that he can completely choose to enter from Area 9. In this way, the traps set by the stone demons will naturally be invalid. Normally, that's true. With the intelligence of the stone demons, it is already commendable to be able to set up the previous trap. Lin Moyu identified the direction and was about to head towards Fireball 9 when he suddenly stopped again. No, I'm too used to habitual thinking. The stone demon's brains don't work well, but that doesn't mean all the stone demon's brains don't work well. It's not impossible for one with a good brain to exist. And there may not only be stone demons inside, there may be other demons, smart demons. Being able to set up the previous trap, they can also set up other traps, and they can probably guess that I will head towards Area 9. Demons have many methods. Even if I enter from Area 9, they may still discover me, or even surround me. Even if they can't teleport me over, they might be able to teleport over. And I'm not familiar with the deeper area, I don't know what's going on inside. Lin Moyu thought from their perspective, if it were him setting up the trap, he would have too many ways to surround the opponent. Although he had confidence in his strength, he didn't like being ambushed. Lin Moyu immediately changed direction, he headed towards Area 7. Among the 3 areas in the middle layer, Area 5 is jointly controlled by the Sand Clan and the Earth Monster Clan. Area 6 is occupied by the Demon Clan. Area 7 is occupied by various different races, with various small clans each governing themselves. Relatively speaking, it is more chaotic. However, Lin Moyu didn't have any concerns about this. As long as they weren't hostile races, as long as they didn't provoke him first, he wouldn't actively provoke others. If they were hostile races, he would just kill them. If anyone came to provoke him, he would kill them as well. He wanted to enter Area 9 from the very edge of Area 7. He didn't believe the stone demon's tentacles could reach so far. In the yellow sand, Lin Moyu turned into a stream of light and moved forward quickly. The yellow earth desert is very large, and restricted everywhere. Lin Moyu's speed had reached its limit. He encountered earth giants on the way, but this time Lin Moyu didn't kill them, he just swept past them. By the time the earth giants fully recovered, Lin Moyu was long gone, and the earth giants could only turn back into statues. 2 days later, Lin Moyu saw the oasis again, that was the oasis belonging to Area 7. Chapter 1339, Bizarrely Harmonious Coexistence. There are 2 oases in Area 7, leading to different locations in Area 9. Entering Area 9 from the oasis in front of him would be relatively close to Area 8. Further away, there is another oasis that can also enter Area 9. When Lin Moyu saw the oasis, he slowed down and gradually stopped. He chose to enter Area 9 from here. According to his idea, if there really was a smart guy among the stone demons, then they would definitely guess that he might enter the deep layer from the furthest place. Then he could do the opposite and enter from a closer place. This is just one reason. The second reason is that there are other people here. Not the Sand Clan and Earth Monsters, but people of various races, and there are many of them. Because there is no unified action plan, a special situation has emerged here. People occasionally retreat from the deeper area and return to the oasis to rest. After resting, they enter the deeper area again to hunt monsters, obtain materials from the monsters, and return to comprehend the laws. This is safer, and if there is danger, they can escape through the stone pile in the oasis. It's just that once they escape, all the keys are invalidated, and to enter the Yellow Earth Desert again, they have to hunt boss monsters again from the outer area to obtain the keys. The whole process is troublesome. These powerhouses who have the materials to enter the deeper area are all God King Rank 9 existences. And they often form small teams, and there are not many who go it alone. Although they are all small clan-free people, once the demon clan wants to deal with them, they will unite. Because they know very well that if they don't unite here, they will definitely be killed or driven away by the demon clan. At first, there were too few free people, and they were indeed suppressed by the demon clan. Later, as the number of free people increased, the free people gradually formed a large-scale team, and even the demon clan would not easily attack them. After all, outside the demon clan, there were also the Sand and Earth clans. Thus, the Sand clan, Earth clan, demons, and independent cultivators formed a peculiar balance here. Lin Moyu approached the oasis, and gradually some figures appeared in his sight. Activating the undead vision, he saw clusters of vigorous soul fires from tens of thousands of kilometers away. At the edge of the oasis, each one was a 9th order God King level expert. They seemed to be resting, adjusting their breathing, and some were comprehending the laws. Many people were also talking, and the atmosphere seemed good. At this moment, Lin Moyu seemed to see the scene at the entrance of a dungeon in the small world. There were also many people, in groups of 3 or 5, either resting or shouting to pull people into teams. It's just that most of the people here do not belong to the same race. Bull demons, golden eagles, black irons. Various races gathered together, and surprisingly, there were no conflicts. Lin Moyu found it extremely strange. Some races were inherently hostile, yet they were surprisingly restrained and did not fight. This scene was almost impossible in the great world. Lin Moyu's approach attracted the attention of many people. Among them, a Golden Eagle clan member suddenly spread his golden wings and stood up abruptly. The Golden Eagle clan and the human race were mortal enemies, the kind who would fight to the death upon meeting. He stared at Lin Moyu intently, and Lin Moyu also stared back, neither giving way. The reason Lin Moyu didn't make the first move was that the situation here was strange. Before figuring things out, it was not advisable to act rashly. Moreover, killing a 9th order God King Golden Eagle clan member was difficult in the Great World, but not in the Yellow Earth Desert. Here, speed was restricted, and the Golden Eagle clan's greatest advantage could not be brought into play. Thus, he became a caged bird, and Lin Moyu could crush him at any time if he wished. The Golden Eagle clan member also did not attack. Deep in his eyes was hatred, but he restrained himself for some reason. Beside him, a Bull Demon clan member whispered, "Restrain yourself, don't break the rules." Hearing this, the Golden Eagle clan member gradually gathered his aura. He shifted his gaze away from Lin Moyu, fell silent, and lowered his head, gnawing on the food in his hand. Rules. These races are clearly hostile, yet they can restrain each other because of rules. Who set the rules? Lin Moyu took in the situation before him. He could recognize many of the races. Overall, it was still possible to distinguish some. For example, the Golden Eagle clan and the Bull Demon clan, having no conflict, would gather together. The Black Iron clan and the Bull Demon clan had conflicts, so they would get close to the races they were friendly with, while avoiding the Golden Eagle clan, who were friendly with the Bull Demon clan. As for the Three Silver clan, they were originally a combination of 3 races and were a group in themselves. And some plant-based races would mix with other plant-based races. The saying, "birds of a feather flock together," was perfectly exemplified here. Lin Moyu was very curious about the rules that allowed so many races to coexist peacefully. Many people cast curious glances at Lin Moyu. After seeing that Lin Moyu was only at the 9th order True God realm, they were not surprised. They all thought that Lin Moyu had used some special means to hide his true realm. To be able to get here, he must be at least an 8th order God King, and most likely a 9th order God King. However, Lin Moyu's identity still caused some discussion. "It's been many years since we've seen a human." "Yeah, didn't the humans give up on this place? The humans have a lost sea, how could they care about this place?" But why is a human here now? Could it be that the Law Sea is gone? With the current strength of the human race, that's unlikely to happen. Unless a freak like Xiao Zhantian appeared in another race. There were all kinds of discussions, but Lin Moyu ignored them and went straight to the edge of the oasis. He took a sip of water before carefully observing again. His gaze fell on the pile of stones not far away, but he didn't see anything unusual. There was no teleportation array or trap in front of the pile of stones. It made sense. No matter how strong the demon clan was, they couldn't set up traps here. Just imagine, the 100 or so 9th Order God King experts here wouldn't agree. At this moment, a faint fragrance wafted over, and a melodious voice came to his ear, "Hello." The voice was soft and gentle. Just listening to it, one could tell that it must be a lovely woman. Turning his head to look, he saw a Butterfly Clan woman. Lin Moyu showed a kind smile, "Hello." The Butterfly Clan woman was very beautiful. It should be said that there were very few unattractive women in the Butterfly Clan. Their beauty was perfectly aligned with the human race's aesthetics, very pleasing to the eye. Having been accustomed to seeing yellow sand and all kinds of monsters these days, it was rare to see a pleasing woman, and it was worth appreciating. The Butterfly Clan and the human race had a good relationship and were allies of the human race. Lin Moyu didn't expect to meet a Butterfly Clan member here. The people of the Butterfly Clan mainly cultivated the Starlight Law, and not many cultivated other laws. However, from this Butterfly Clan woman, in addition to the rich Starlight Law, Lin Moyu also felt the Earth Law. He understood in his heart, knowing that she cultivated two laws. It's just that the Starlight Law was relatively strong, and the Earth Law was relatively weak. The Butterfly Clan woman said to Lin Moyu, "My name is Dai Xinger. Our team is over there. The deep areas are very dangerous. Would you like to join us?" Lin Moyu looked in the direction she pointed and saw her teammates. He smiled and said, "Okay." Chapter 1340. Lin Moyu's fame is really big. Dai Xinger's team had a total of 4 people, all of whom were women. 2 of them had blue skin, blue eyes, and 4 legs that looked like seaweed, soft and extremely flexible. These were very obvious characteristics, belonging to the Water God clan. The 2 women's appearances were almost identical, and even their auras were very similar. According to Dai Xinger's introduction, the 2 were called Shui Luoyu and Shui Luoyi, twin sisters. Shui Luoyu was the older sister, and Shui Luoyi was the younger sister. The Water God clan excelled at the Water Law, but these 2 also emitted a faint aura of the Earth Law. Like Dai Xinger, they cultivated 2 laws. Another person was light yellow all over, the kind of yellow of earth and stone, but like a piece of yellow jade, with a bit of crystal clarity. The aura of the Earth Law on her body was very clear. She was a 9th Order God King, and the Earth Law was almost complete. Her aura rolled out, with a full sense of oppression. Lin Moyu judged that this person was the strongest in the team. It's just that this race. Lin Moyu couldn't identify it for a moment. He once again felt the lack of his knowledge. Through Dai Xinger's introduction, Lin Moyu learned that this woman was called Zhan Yu and was a member of the Star Jade clan. Hearing the Star Jade clan, Lin Moyu couldn't help but raise his eyebrows. The Star Jade clan was a very mysterious race. Their clansmen rarely moved around in the great world. Many cultivators might not see a Star Jade clansman in their entire lives. He didn't expect to see one here. Shui Luoyu, the 2 sisters, and Zhan Yu had no objections to Lin Moyu's arrival. Obviously, the 4 had a very good relationship, and they also knew the relationship between the Butterfly clan and the human race. Although their race and the human race didn't have much interaction, because of Dai Xinger, they were quite polite to Lin Moyu. Dai Xinger introduced everyone, and then it was Lin Moyu's turn. Lin Moyu sat down generously. Human race, Lin Moyu. He didn't perform any etiquette or anything like that. Every race has different habits. The human race's etiquette might be an insult to some races. There were many people here, and Lin Moyu didn't lower his voice. As soon as the 3 words Lin Moyu came out, the surroundings suddenly fell silent. The pair of beautiful butterfly wings behind Dai Xinger trembled unconsciously a few times, and she stared with starry eyes. "You are Lin Moyu." Lin Moyu nodded a little strangely. Was there something wrong with his name? Even if he was famous, he only had a little reputation in the True God realm. In the eyes of most God King realm experts, the True God realm was just a bunch of little guys, not worth mentioning at all. Dai Xing'er whispered, do you know that your reputation is quite big? Lin Moyu looked at the strange gazes cast by the nearly 100 experts around him, and couldn't help asking, I would like to hear the details. Dai Xing'er said, there is a Gemini race person here, you also know the characteristics of the Gemini race, twins for life, inseparable from each other. Lin Moyu nodded, he naturally knew the Gemini race. The Gemini race is a very special race, twins for life. Every Gemini race person is divided into two at birth, and both are the main body. The two bodies can either merge with each other or separate. Not only the physical body, but also the soul. Moreover, no matter how far apart the two bodies are, whether there is any obstruction, they can communicate with each other. Because their souls were originally one, it is difficult to isolate even with formations and restrictions. Listening to Dai Xing'er's meaning, it was that Gemini race person who brought his news in. Dai Xing'er continued to explain, in the Yellow Sand Desert, our news from the outside world is cut off, even the demon race's clone cannot contact the main body. Only the Gemini race can bring news from the outside, and he often talks about some things from the outside world. You are now on the demon race's must-kill list, and you are already ranked first, higher than some veteran god kings. The demon race has offered a high price for your bounty, as long as you kill you can get a god venerable realm magic weapon. Lin Moyu was a little surprised, the value of a god venerable realm magic weapon was very high, and the demon race valued him so much. He jokingly said, I didn't expect my life to be so valuable. His gaze swept around, meeting the gazes of the god kings. Some people's eyes were normal, there was no problem. A few people's eyes were already filled with killing intent. Like the Ninth Order God King of the Golden Eagle race before, who originally wanted to kill him, now wanted to even more. Dai Xing'er also noticed this and couldn't help lowering her voice, don't worry, they don't dare to do anything here. Lin Moyu asked, what are the rules here? Dai Xing'er said, this place is managed by Little Bright King Bodhisattva, he has set the rules, no one is allowed to use force in the oasis, otherwise they will be punished. Little Bright King Bodhisattva, a guy from the Buddhist race, Lin Moyu muttered in his heart. Bodhisattva is the realm title of the Buddhist race, in fact it is the God King. The Buddhist race divides the realms into Arhat, Bodhisattva, and Buddha. Among them, Arhat is the true God, Bodhisattva is the God King, and Buddha is the God Venerable. He had also killed a Buddha. Lin Moyu felt a little strange, why would the Buddhist race come here, and even set the rules? With doubts in his heart, he asked, what realm is Little Bright King Bodhisattva? Dai Xing'er said, Little Buddha, which is the Little God Venerable realm, is the most powerful here, so we can only listen to the rules he sets. Little God Venerable is a special level between the Ninth Order God King and the God Venerable. Little God Venerable has completely mastered his own laws, reaching 100%. Only the law-wrapped soul is missing, leaping into the law galaxy. Once this step is completed, it is the real God Venerable. At that time, you can travel through the law galaxy, mobilize the power of the law galaxy, and have infinite power between gestures. Little God Venerable still cannot mobilize the power of the law galaxy, but 100% law control can already beat a group of Ninth Order God Kings. To defeat a Little God Venerable, at least 10 Ninth Order God Kings must act at the same time. But it is only to defeat, it is impossible to kill. If Little God Venerable wants to leave, the God King can't stop him. If you encounter a stronger Little God Venerable, then a dozen Ninth Order God Kings are completely not enough to see. As for geniuses, who is not a genius? Anyone who can reach this step is not worse than anyone else. Lin Moyu was somewhat afraid of the Buddhist race in his heart. From the bottom of his heart, he didn't like the Buddhist race. Moreover, he was just borrowing here, and he didn't want to have any interaction with the Buddhist race, nor did he want to have any interaction with the people in this 990 miles. Around, 5 or 6 pairs of eyes had become sharp, containing killing intent. They seemed to be thinking about whether to do it now and kill him at the risk of being punished. At the same time, they were also thinking about whether they could kill him as quickly as possible. Dai Xing'er was a little worried, Lin Moyu, they want to kill you, why don't you leave now? Lin Moyu smiled, I still have something to do, I can't leave for the time being. I just arrived here, can you tell me about the things in the deeper area? Dai Xing'er nodded and told some things she knew. What she said was actually what everyone knew, there was no secret at all. Lin Moyu listened carefully, remembering it firmly. After Dai Xinger finished speaking, her beautiful eyes turned. If you don't leave, then stay with us here, they won't dare to act rashly. Lin Moyu shook his head. No need, they can't kill me, but Bange degree by people all the time is not a good thing. Saying that, he slowly stood up and whispered, I'll leave for a while. Dai Xinger wanted to stop Lin Moyu. The butterfly race and the human race had a good relationship, and Dai Xinger didn't want Lin Moyu to be killed. Lin Moyu took the lead to speak. Miss Xinger, don't worry. He stopped Dai Xinger with his eyes, said that and walked towards the distance. His speed was very fast, and he left the oasis in a blink of an eye. Dai Xinger instinctively stood up and wanted to chase, but her clothes were grabbed by Zhan Yu. Zhan Yu shook her head at Dai Xinger, signaling her not to move. At this time, several people had stood up, their eyes watching the direction Lin Moyu left. A dozen seconds later, 6 people left the oasis and chased after Lin Moyu.